Oh, what happened last time?
Um,
Things and stuff.
we fought a smiley gentleman who had a very high AC. We opened some windows and he's like, "Ew."
He was a
And-
gamer.
Yeah, and then we killed him. I know.
Because he was a gamer.
It's true. And then we fought Maleficent, Putrescent, the black dragon who wanted to remain in human form. She had key points. She knocked me unconscious twice and killed me in the same game. And then we beat her to the point she turned into a dragon. And then we were like, we want to take Dragon Corpse with us. And you were like, hey, you can't take the whole thing if you're teleporting. But then we cut her wings off and we cut her head off. And then we teleported the airship. And then we found a carnival. And Colin introduced what these guys look like, and they were like, "Hey, it's the carnival, yay!" And that was it.
You got the important stuff. That's what's important. You know, you got so no head basically, but you did grab the head.
Christ.
No maidens.
Maidenless?
You are maidenless.
It's true.
All right. But yeah, that's essentially what happened. You finally dealt with this thorn in the side of the monasteries for a long time. The Long Death Monks, led by the Black Dragon Putrescent. And after having fought your way up the tower, defeated her, managed to get out as it was collapsing, grabbed a couple of nice choice pieces of dragon, since you weren't able to bring in the whole thing, which is, pretty nice. But after that, you made your way back to the airship, and they were basically, it basically ended up at a carnival. Interestingly enough, here at the, it's a little bit outside of Yajut Serat. Having been set up, it's got beautiful sort of garish tents. You saw that there was a motley assortment of people assembled. Quite a few people that are visiting the actual carnival itself, making sort of standing in line to enter into its vast, sort of colorful gates, lined with fluttering and flowing silken flags. There is a Goliath man, basically the strong man you've seen lifting very casually basically a steel rod that had as many gnomes clutched to it as possible, as he easily lifted into the air over his head. Setting it down, now stands and begins collecting tickets while or collecting basically copper pieces as people make their way into the carnival itself. There are two halflings, one sort of decked out as something like a barker, like a carnival barker kind of. He's got a high. Well, he doesn't have like a top hat on, but he does have like, it almost looks like a bowler hat. With that's like really bright purple with a green band around it. He wears a white shirt with the arms rolled, or the sleeves rolled up to his elbows. Simple black breeches with black sort of overalls, as he happily sort of calls out, "Come one, come all to the carnival. You're all welcome." As he stands atop a high platform looking down over the crowd, as another halfling, clearly a tumbler of some sort, basically works with a lion at its base. The lion itself actually looks quite bored, as she tumbles past it. It even like opens up its jaws and she sort of like tumbles through it, but it's got a very disinterested look whenever she does it, as it's clearly
It's new meat.
it appears to be fairly well trained. As you see people going in, many of them clutch small flyers in their hands. It looks like advertisements for the carnival itself, and you can see it's got beautiful, like it's like a sort of parchment with bright red and black lettering that advertises games and sights and fun for the whole family. And whenever you you sort of are making your way forward as a lot of people are making sort of streaming in, and you actually hear a voice that says, did you guys notice this? As she Nipsey Brightbuckle comes up behind you, and she says, she has the 2 Thrycreen that tend the animals with her, as she has what appears to be one of these flyers clutched in her hands, and the 2 Thrycreen have several eggs with them, from the chickens. I forget what you named the chicken, but it was some sort of stupid. It was cocktease. You named your chicken cocktease.
What a terrible name.
I mean,
I don't remember agreeing to this, but okay.
You've got a cow named Bitch Tits too, so.
Of course we do.
They were all like celebrity puns named by Beaver.
And then you've got Kevin Bacon as a pig, and then there's Elizabeth McGovern, because she starred in a movie with Kevin Bacon, and then there's the 2 horses Hung and Low.
Horse.
I think this is animal cruelty.
That's not cruel. She sort of says, show 'em, as one of them, like, cracks the egg and opens it up, and just it pulls one of the flyers out the eggs.
Is this...
Now that's impressive.
Can I roll an ammo handling check and see if that's normal?
Sure.
What's normal?
Okay.
Thank you.
Guess what? It is. It's not. It's
very normal.
Absolutely normal for this to happen.
It's the most normal thing you've ever seen.
How
in the
long has
world.
this been happening?
Call, I got 19.
One of them in Thrycreen, sort of murders in Thrycreen. I just noticed it within the last couple hours.
They must be doing something because of the proximity.
That's not good.
I mean,
No, I'm gonna take and read the flyer. What
I
does
go.
it actually say on it?
Oh no. What if Adelaide's pregnant?
Oh
She
my
might
god.
She might give birth to a clown.
Yeah, you know,
or
that's how they test.
That's how
in
clowns
those days.
breed.
She peed on the chicken eggs, and then a flyer came out, and it says the actual sex of the child. It's just, it's just science.
It's literally just how that works.
It's true.
Or this is how they make carnies.
I mean, how else are they gonna expand? You can see, it says at the very top in sort of broad, bold writing, the Grand Carnival. Come for family fun, games of chance and skill, sights, shows. Go to Dr. Dermot's Tent of Terrors. See the things that the world cast away. Have your fortune read by Mistress Mirabella, the Blood Reader.
That's a name.
And,
I don't think Madame Vestia would like it if we saw another seer.
See her, I barely even know her.
But these games sound interesting. I'm up for a test, for a challenge.
I tell the Thrycreen, like, I would just put the eggs back for now, and let's, maybe they'll go back to normal when we leave.
it's even got a petting zoo for the kids.
Of course it does.
That's where Ito goes because he's got donkey brains.
Of course.
I like animal. Alright.
That's fair.
Me too.
Entrance. 2 copper for entry into the fairgrounds itself, additional charges applicable. So yeah, it's $2 copper to get in, and then of course you're paying for stuff like games and food,
Normal carnival shit.
like yeah,
67 gold pieces for a funnel cake.
it's true. Like what?
I've never been.
You don't want the funnel cake? It's baked into the price. It's 67.
You're
gold
getting it
pieces
anyway.
and 2 copper to get in now.
I've never been to a carnival before.
Now you have, son.
Now I have.
How does that make you feel?
Adelaide says it looks a little bit run down. As she looks at the bright
bitch, no
garish
ass.
tents. As this is a nice carnival by your standards, but by her standards, I mean, come on now. Slowly the line files forward, until you're up next, and the massive Goliath says, "That'll be 2 copper pieces for entry." And he holds out his massive hand.
Just 2 copper?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'm just gonna grab a couple out of my coin purse or whatever I have, and just
Ew,
I'll reach the hell up there and just drop them in his hand.
Alright, you easily sort of dock it in. He says, "Welcome to the carnival." As you're able to pass through the gates.
I ask him which way to the fuego.
Are carnivals usually this cheap?
Just to get entry? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, a lot of the time they're free to get entry. You just have to pay to do anything at all.
Alright.
This looks cool.
The carnival itself is a sight to behold. You can see there is a massive tent located at the back with huge streamers flying from the top. Currently, it sits quite dim, but you can see there is a archway above it that shows a showtime for whenever there's a show will be at the end of the day. You can see that there is a very impressive petting zoo immediately next to it, with animals both mundane and unusual. You specifically see 2 black horses with flaming manes and tails sort of casually walk up to a trough of water and nuzzle it, as the water itself, as they lick it up, turns to steam around them as they make their way across it. There's a small piece of hay that actually begins to smolder and catch light, but a very harried looking dwarf rushes forward and stomps it out, looking every bit as old as a dwarf can be, and yet still moving quite spryly.
Ha, bet. I'm going to the petting zoo.
You see that there is what appears to be, you're unsure, some sort of, you don't know if it's a gnome in a cracked mask, or if it's some sort of doll or construct brought to life. A bright, sort of wide, grinning face that looks like it's made of white porcelain and covered in sort of rosy cheeks, is standing next to a massive bonfire. You can see this construct doesn't say a word, just has this wide, kind of creepy grin on its face as it reenacts stories using puppets. As it sort of holds up what appears to be a woman clad in black, and then it holds up a bear, and he kind of slams them together like they're fighting. As you can see, there's several children that sort of sit back and gasp at it. you can see that there is a wild-eyed looking man in a white coat standing next to several cages that seem to be covered in shadow. A large shank of meat, raw and covered in blood, next to it. Every now and then the cages shake, and he like goes over and he kicks the cage before he reaches into his coat and pulls out a flask and downs it, tosses it to the side. There is a large tent that has sort of stars all across it, but the stars are, they actually seem to move and change as people walk into it. Several of them, you watch for only a moment as they come back out, sort of rubbing their fingertips together nervously. It's a massive, incredible carnival experience. A nice, fun, easy break from after all the hard, crazy, dumb shit you've done for the past, couple days, couple weeks. You get a chance to get away as you walk past Strong Arm, and you're open to go wherever you want. There is basically, where's my fucking, you got,
So I guess we'll all just go where we want to go see and meet up for the show. at the end
Henley's
of the
already
day?
gone. You saw the
Yeah.
horses and left where he left you. I mean, you get the earpiece though, so never mind. I guess I could hear you.
Well, Reed is gonna sort of propose that and then just head himself over here.
alright. Let's go.
I guess I should hold on. I need a short rest. Everything. A long rest. All right. Yay. I'll go with Reed and see what's going on over here.
Let's see. Close enough. Alright. Oh yeah, and then of course, forgot. There we go. That's pretty much everything. Alright. We got a tent of games. There's a grand carousel. This
Carousel.
sort of puppet show. Fortunes, the tent of terrors, the petting zoo, food. And that's all before the big top opens for the final show of the evening. The halfling Barker smiles at each of you and says, "Step right up, don't be shy." As beneath him, the other halfling sort of motions towards the carnival with a broad smile and says, "You won't find a better carnival on this side of the fucking world, that's to be sure. Trust me, we've been with it for a long time." Alright, we got Reed and Karakwa going to games. We got Petting Zoo. Venta's going, what, for the food?
I want to see the carnival
dogs.
food. I want to get a corn dog.
Hell yeah, what's Aruna doing?
Tom's
Also get
still
Tom-
Tommy's
fucking
internet
dead.
was resetting about
15 minutes ago.
yeah.
My god.
He might mean he might mean the company's resetting, not him.
Yeah.
He destroyed his entire internet. And Alec Cool's going to
I'm gonna go to the fortunes first.
All right.
You have a thing about fortunes?
Don't forget to tell him how much better Madame Vestia is.
Oh my! I mean, like
Fortune teller off.
my goddesses of literally fate. So yes, I do
What?
actually.
No way.
Bring down Vestia and this Mistress Mirabella versus Madame Vestia. It'll be like a rap battle.
Dear God. All right. Well, I gotta go to the bathroom.
All
I'll
right.
be right back.
Henley, you find yourself drawn to the motley assortment of animals. As you can see, they're both, as I said, magical and mundane. There are literally 2 nightmares there. Their flaming manes and tails lighting up the landscape. As well as a mundane horse, several sheep, a cow that has very unusual coloration. Instead of, you know, the standard brown or black, it's like splotchy purple, and it almost is like glitters. Next to a rather mundane bull is the 2 sort of nuzzled together over a like a large thing of hay. But whenever the actual like purple cow bites into the hay, you can see little flecks of it like turn frosty.
Oh, that's how you get cold milk.
It's true. It turns chocolate. That's how you get chocolate milk. You
Good.
can see
It
there
turns-
are like several chickens that are running around. However, they are it takes you a moment to like they're running around so quickly it takes you a moment to like catch them as they dart in and out of like there's a like beneath the cart that's in there, and you can see they do not look normal. They actually look like they've been like defeathered. And then poof, one bursts into flame.
I don't like that.
And then it slowly pops back from the ashes. Sort of a small little chirp going cheep, 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 cheep. As
Is this some sort of fucking phoenix chicken?
the druid, this dwarven man sort of comes over and sort of shakes his head, saying, "Couldn't you fucking have done that before the damn show?" As he lifts up the small little chicken, like now chick that had burst into flames, and sort of cradles it in his hand, and he puts it in a pocket, like his breast pocket, of his tunic, and looks around as he sees you looking. "Welcome to the zoo. All these animals are free to touch, but be careful, they're also free to bite." Ha ha ha! As he says, "I'm joking, of course. They're all trained fairly well, except for the nightmares. Those are the master's steeds, and they can be a bit antsy sometimes."
Colin, I go to pet the purple cow. Is it cold?
It is cold on the purple parts of it. Everywhere else it feels normal.
Huh.
That's bizarre.
I asked him what kind of cow this is.
He says,
Did you tote me? Oh, there you are.
Wise choice to pet it. An unusual specimen to be sure from the Winter Court. They call it a cow."
How original.
He sort of shrugs and says, "Unusual here to be sure, but they're pretty common."
What's the winter court?
The Winter Court. Gracie, shut up!
Ah, I've heard of that before.
Yeah.
The Karakwa, before going into the game set. Look at those things, titties on it!
Yeah. He nods his head and says, "We have to knock icicles off them every morning. Milksicles, really."
Oh, God.
Ew.
Oh, I keep talking about that horny shit.
But it's a simple cow. We call it a frost cow, but where it's from, it's just a cow.
But what is the Winter Court?
It's a Fey court. A court
What's
on the
a Fey?
Feywild. Well, it's
Where's the Feywild?
well, he says it is a mirrored plane. It's much like looking through a mirror, you see yourself. That's kind of what the Feywild is. It's almost like a reflection of our plane. Different, and yet similar. As he sort of shows you the cow, and he holds out the chick for you to pet.
How do I go there?
Well, it's not necessarily the
nervous chuckle.
simplest task. There's portals that you can walk through, some natural, some man-made. Spells that could take you there, planar travels and planar shifting. I've heard of a couple of magical items that could do so.
That's interesting. Thank you.
You could always join up with the Carnival. We usually make our way through there every now and then.
No, I have other friends and duties I have to attend to.
He nods his head. I understand. It's not every boy that wants to run off and join the circus.
I don't even know what a circus is till today.
Oh, that sounds sad.
Yeah, you guys got cool animals. Bye. I'm gonna go find Aruna. I'm gonna ask her if she can put me in the Feywild.
Oh no.
Well, you gotta wait for Tommy's nose to stop bleeding, apparently.
I mean, that's fine. That means other people can go though.
Alright, it goes to... Alright, Venta. You see there is a incredible assortment of all kind of food.
I want a funnel cake.
They do have funnel cakes, as you can see. It's exactly who you would want to be making food. A horribly overweight bearded lady, with a sort of, you know, like grease-stained apron wrapped around her, as she rushes, her face like beet red and sheened with sweat as she rushes to and fro in the hot tent. You can see you're surrounded by similarly excited children and adults, each waiting for their own piece of the, you know, fresh food that's being cooked. You can see that she does the cooking, and it looks like several helping hands, literally helping hands, as there appears to be some sort of like magical spell or arcane spell that has animated what looks like various hands from different races, causing they sort of float around, grabbing money, picking up food and handing it to people.
Is there one that looks particularly moon elfy?
You can
and may belong to somebody I know.
you can roll a perception check.
Better not see any moon elf hands in there, because then I know where they're going. She's not just taking them. You said perception?
Yep.
It's actually Baba Yaga's circus. We've all been tricked.
Holy shit.
It's Booby
She
Yaga.
got him.
Fucking horrifying.
It's a 19.
You see they are all sorts of different hands. Some look fairly dainty. You hope, you're pretty sure they're halfling hands or gnome hands. You hope they're not like children's hands. You don't think they are. They look like they've seen quite a bit of work. But you see some larger human hands and some quite dainty. You don't see any moon elf hands, but you do see what may be elf or eladrin hands.
Okay. Aruna's hand's not in there. That's good. That's all I wanted to know. Alright, so you said she has funnel cakes?
Yes.
I am all over a funnel cake.
But the only problem is the powdered sugar is the dandruff from her lady beard.
Is it?
No.
Okay.
She hands
Next,
you
they're gonna pay double.
a large like funnel cake. She says, "That'll be a silver piece, darling."
I'll give her a silver piece. So thank you, ma'am.
I can add whipped cream to that for an extra silver. That's not like
Please stop.
That's not a euphemism.
Stop,
That's not a
please.
euphemism. They have whipped cream.
Whipped breast milk and dandruff, baby.
It's whipped cream made from our own frozen cow. She motions towards the petting zoo. Stays cold.
Yes. I give her 2 silver.
All right, she puts a large dollop of whipped cream on it, and indeed, the whipped cream doesn't melt as soon as it hits the hot, like the hot freaking funnel cake. It stays perfectly intact. And whenever you bite it, it's quite chill, like biting into a piece of ice, with this strange sort of mix of hot from the funnel cake and chilled from the whipped cream. It's magical whipped cream.
I love it. I grab the funnel cake and I go to Ito and I say, Ito, look! It looks like the Kraken.
Ito says, it's the type of thing you might eat at a birthday party. And then he yells at his kid.
NPC dialogue.
Hey, come
yeah.
back for more, send your friends.
Can I go to the Fortunes, or do you want to go to someone else?
I mean, if you're both going to the Fortunes, you'll end up there.
Okay. That's where I wanted to go after I got my funnel cake.
But, you can see, Reed and Karakwa, you head into the, basically, like, the tent that has all the games of it. Games of, like, chance, games of skill. You can see, there's, like, a wall that has, like, balloons on it and knives, lined up where you can try to pop balloons with the knives. There's like a strongman game where you hit with the hammer, the thing, and it goes up and hits the bell. It's got one of those. Just outside of it, there's like a mechanical bull that is on a carpet that's been basically covered in like hay and various plush pillows and things like that. So when people get thrown off, they don't get hurt. Probably, maybe, probably.
Probably, maybe.
You can see there is interesting a game that just has what appears to be a man sitting on a stool that says, "I'll guess your number."
What kind of number?
It just says, "I'll guess your number" above him.
I love it.
Jeez, this is like a BuzzFeed quiz. I gotta know. What's my number?
Oh, to go to that one?
Yeah, I have to know.
Alright.
I'm intrigued. What do you mean by guess my number?
He looks at you. He is the most, like, plain looking human you've ever seen in your life. He has a pencil-thin mustache, slightly greasy hair that's thinning and swept to the side. He sits on his stool with his arms crossed and he says, "Think of a number and I'll guess it."
Any number?
Any number. Hold it in your mind.
Okay, give me one moment. Alright.
Alright. He looks at you, his eyes narrows, and he casts Detect Thoughts on you. As he looks at you.
That's fucking funny.
Nice.
Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw.
Alright. Should be somewhat decent. That's a 23.
Alright, let me roll his Arcana. Hey, he eyes you. What number were you thinking of?
13.
He says 12.
Yes.
Was that the number?
What number did he say?
He nods his head and says,
He
I
said
knew it!
13.
He said 12.
Oh,
12?
14.
I didn't hear. Like your mic was cutting out. What number? I didn't actually.
So you're
Legitimately didn't hear.
So you're saying it was 15, 10,
No.
13.
Yes.
I knew it! I'm a powerful
I mean-
magician.
I should go game this motherfucker. I'm immune to
Wonderful.
detect thoughts.
Yes, indeed. And I'll just kind of walk away, and I'll give him 1 copper piece.
He takes it and pockets it. Nods his head. He looks at you. Your cloak is now black!
Your clothes are red. Red clothes.
Well, Reed's gonna walk past the hammer, recognizing that it's probably not for him, and then go to throw some knives at balloons.
Okay. There is a plainclothes human standing, looking very bored behind a counter with several knives on it, as he says, "Welcome to Pop the Balloons, sir. 1 silver gets you 3 knives. 3 knives gets you a prize," as he motions to a wall of stuffed animals. 3 balloons, hit 'em all. Pop 3 balloons, get a prize.
Alright, sounds easy enough. I'll hand over the silver and get ready.
Alright. He takes the silver and hands you 3 knives. Here you go, sir. Be careful.
I just immediately chuck them one after the other.
Alright. Go ahead and give me 3 attack rolls.
I guess I would get proficiency from this since it's just knives.
It's just throwing knives, yeah.
First 1, 2. Oh, whoops. So that would have been 29.
Alright. Lightning quick, the 3 knives dart out. 1 flying into a balloon, it goes pop! And another one quickly following into another boom, pop! As the third one flies, and you see it hits directly in the balloon and bounces off and falls to the ground. He says, "Good try, sir. Would you like to try again?"
Odd. Alright, let's go ahead. Let's do another. And I'm gonna... Reed's just going to pass over another silver.
He nods his head, it's like, "We've got a real player today, folks." And he goes back to sort of looking at his nails, kind of bored. Alright. There is a quick flurry of knives that they go. 1 flying into a balloon, it pops. And 1 flies into the exact same balloon before, and that one pops. Is the one that it bounced off previously pops. And the third one flies, and it hits a balloon and just kind of bounces off on the ground. Good try, sir.
Reed getting a little annoyed. Just gonna toss down another silver. And I'm going to throw again this time. But I'm going to sneak in one of my darts along the side of the knife as well. Or alongside each knife.
Alright, make a stealth check or sleight of hand check. It would help if I didn't have you selected Karakwa.
Do you want me to do it 1 for each, or...?
No, it's just general.
Okay.
Alright.
Ooh, the last one's bad.
He is not really paying that close attention to you. Like I said, he seems very disinterested with the whole affair. You take the knives and toss one, hits a balloon, pops it. Toss a second, hits a balloon, pops it. You toss your third knife. It flies into the balloon, and you see it hit the balloon, and it just kind of bounces off of it. There's clearly some sort of tomfoolery going on here.
I'd ask Karakwa, but he's away.
All right,
So I'm just gonna.
says, several great tries, sir, as he turns and he picks a very small stuffed animal off the wall and hands it to you and says, thank you for playing at the carnival. Please come back for more. And then he goes back to really not paying attention.
We're just gonna haughtily take it and start walking away.
Step
Fine,
right up,
just-
one on all. Everybody, please come test your game at the knife, or test your skills, the knife throwing game, or don't. I don't care. As he sort of motions towards the balloon wall, you can actually see several of the wall itself is beginning to re-inflate balloons where you pop them.
Colin, why you got so many self-inserts in this game?
But yeah, he's like, it's like you know, like it's like a 14-year-old kid at his first job. He's like, fucking whatever, I don't care. But yeah, the room itself, however, has many other games as well. You can see, like I said, there's the strongman game. There's
Rings. I'm
there's
sure
rings.
Like and whatever.
Yeah, you can see there's one of those little stations that has a bunch of like plastic bottles, like plastic jugs that have water in them, and you can see they've got like goldfish in them. You can try to throw a ball into it and win it says you can win a pet aboleth, but you're pretty sure they're just fish. You hope they're just
I'll take a
fish.
fish.
Says, this time it's actually a much more bright and chipper, what appears to be a girl. She is a halfling of maybe... How old are you, Reed?
I believe I put 25.
She's probably a little bit younger than you, maybe 17, 18. She's got, sort of dark, sort of auburn hair, almost sort of reddish auburn hair, sort of a smattering of freckles. It's tied into two sort of high pigtails. As she smiles, a big wide smile, as she says, "Care to take your chance? One toss, you might win a pet baby aboleth."
You know, I've seen a grown one. They didn't quite look like this, but I'll have a try anyway.
Oh, that's because these aren't grown yet.
Literally just store-bought goldfish.
How much for this one?
If you want to, you can roll a investigation check.
Yeah, I'm not gonna roll an investigation to see if these are actual aboleths.
Why not? I rolled an animal handling check to see if chickens can lay flyers.
I guess the simple question then is, Reed, have we met an aboleth before?
Yes, that's exactly what I told her.
Maybe it's the same aboleth, but it's him that's
The
supposed to
baby.
be baby size.
Maybe it's him with makeup on.
But alright,
Or that. Maybe
Alright,
maybe it's just makeup.
All right, let's get by the racism and let's do the check to make sure. Okay.
how much for an attempt?
Silver piece for one throw.
Same as the other one. Hopefully this one seems a little less... I'll just hand over the silver piece.
She hands you like a ping pong ball and sort of smiles broadly and says, she says, "I got a good feeling."
More than a
Or
feeling.
just toss it in?
Yep, give me it's pretty much the same check.
Oh, reroll. 28.
Alright.
That's much better.
You can see it hits the edge of one and sort of bounces around as you can see it awkwardly like falls into a glass. It does manage to thunk into a glass, however, we'll see if it is. It falls into an empty one. As she looks at it, and she says, "That's a tough break." As she goes and she goes to the ping pong ball in there, and then she sort of pulls it out and sort of looks around over her shoulder, and she says, "That was really close. You can try again."
Considering how much I failed at the other one, Reese is gonna put down like 20 pieces.
I mean, she's not even charging you for it. She just handed it to you and said, "That was close. Try again."
Oh, that's how they get you. Be careful.
There's a 23.
All right. Once again, it falls. You do sink it into one of them, but it falls into an empty one. But once again, she looks around and she says, she picks it up and she like dunks it in one of the ones that has a fish and says, "You did it! Congratulations!" She sort of smiles broadly, and she takes out the fish. And, you can see she, it actually animates in a little water bubble, as it sort of flows into a small vessel that she it's like a little crockware vessel that has a fish inscribed on it. She hands it to you and says, "Your very own pet baby aboleth." It's just a koi fish. You don't have to worry about it, like, actually doing anything.
Thank you. And Greed will bow while taking the fish. I think I'll call it Abby. Abby the Aboleth.
She smiles and she says, "All right, everyone, step right up. 1 silver, 1 throw. Win a pet baby aboleth."
Alright, I'm gonna take my Aboleth and go.
Crockwell, you want to do anything? There's all sorts of games here.
Well, what else was all here? I had to get up for a second. What else is
I'm
here?
gonna use your help. I tried throwing knives at the balloons, but the last one would not pop.
All right.
Even when I snuck in secret darts.
Going
You're
around, you can see there
They were
is
cheating first.
a
They drew first blood. They drew first blood.
there is what appears to be, like I said, there's the number guesser game, which you know is bullshit. There is the win a pet baby aboleth, which is which is bullshit. There's the balloon throwing to win some stuffed animals, which Reed has seen as bullshit. There is a it almost looks like like a long beam stretched out over a pit, and the pit is filled with sort of refuse, not like sewage. Nobody's took a dump in it, but it looks like compost and scraps of old food. It sort of stinks and molders. Game of classically called Giant's Feet, knocking your opponent off
Giant's feet.
There is a... You know what? I'm gonna say there's the Gnomish Illusion game here, because that's a fun one too.
Let's try the Gnomish Illusion game. That
Alright.
sounds interesting. I've dealt with gnomes before. I've seen through their illusions. I should be a master at this.
Alright. The Gnomish Illusion game is very simple, really, and depends on how good your Arcana is. It is essentially kind of like playing Pokemon, but summoning an illusion to do it. You find that there is a gnome standing there. She is clad in very nice robes. They're like beautiful, sort of like velvet blue with what appears to be animal sigils all across it, and there is like a little dirt pit in front of her, like a sand pit, like a little arena. You can see it looks like there's blood on it, but it shifts and changes as you realize the blood is an illusion as well.
My God.
There is what appears to be a some sort of strange hellhound, but it's, you know, only about the size of a puppy in the ring, and it sits, its mouth sort of panting heavily, as you can see. It's not drool that comes from it, it's almost like magma that sort of falls to the ground and sizzles, but it quickly disappears because it is an illusion as well. Seated across from her is a stool, and you can see, it says, 1 silver to enter. Beat me at the Gnomish Illusion game. Get 5 silver in return.
Alright, I will try my luck.
Alright.
1 silver, you say?
1 silver entry.
Okay. I've paid the woman.
Alright. She motions for you to sit down in the stool and says, have you ever played the Gnomish Illusion game before?
I cannot say that I have.
Well, boy, do I have some fun rules for you. Or would you like to just wing it?
Understanding how the game plays seems to be paramount to success, so I would like to understand.
Alright, so it's the best of 3 rounds. Me, as obviously you being the challenger, you get to choose a form that goes against mine. And remember, it's all about your imagination. And then we have them fight it out. If
Okay.
if you win, I summon 1, challenge yours. If I win, my magma hound stays in, and you get to try again.
Right.
But
Very
it's
well.
all about imagination. Oh, and magical prowess. I don't know how good you are at summoning illusions.
Known to do so once or twice.
Oh, well. Have a seat. Show me what you got.
Alright. So, what do I need? Do I just need to describe some kind of monster?
Yeah, tell me what it is. Use your imagination. And tell me why it would be stronger than the Hellhound.
Why it would be stronger than the Hellhound? Okay. Thinking about all of our travels that we have recently been on, I summon I think about and try to summon forth one of those giant ice walkers
Alright.
that we've encountered. I believe this would best your Hellhound because it cannot be damaged by mere flame that the Hellhound can make.
Well, I guess we'll have to find out, won't we? Give me an Arcana check with advantage.
Okay. $22.
Alright. You can see her eyebrows kind of shoot up as the two sort of tussle. Each of them sort of trying to get the best of each other, but eventually, yours does get the better of the Hellhound, as she says, "Wow, pretty good. Would you like to go double or nothing?"
Double or nothing. The way that I see that, if I have had nothing lost, if I have nothing to lose and there's nothing to gain, so I might as well, yes, double or nothing.
This is how Karakua's soul gets stolen by a fae.
She smiles, and nods her head, and says, "All right, 2 silver pieces. If I win, or if you win, you get 10. If I win, I keep your 2 silver piece entry. As
Very
she very easily conjures to basically the floor a very accurate simulacrum of a dragon, like a large ancient red dragon, just sort of stands actually almost 5 feet tall. For a miniature dragon, that's pretty huge. As she says,
Huge.
all right. As she go ahead and give another Arcana check.
Is mine staying?
Yep.
All right. Let's see.
Reed just from the audience glares angrily at the red dragon.
That is a non-natural 20.
Oh wow. She critically failed.
Woo!
As
Awkward.
yeah, I mean she's literally got.
Suck it, Bismarck.
She's got. I mean, that's somehow the dice rolls because she's got like plus 12 to plus 15 to her rolls, but she's been rolling real bad. She sort of looks confounded as the ice beast, despite being seemingly outmatched, manages to power through. As she says, well, would you look at that? Well, I'm a lady of my word. As she hands you 10 silver pieces.
Thank you very much. I had quite fun.
Uh,
Kind of smiling to myself.
I mean, sometimes you roll. I think the highest she rolled was
I'll be right back.
a 5. Yeah.
Jesus. By the way, skill issue as he walks away and then does a 360 and moonwalks away.
She just sort of shrugs. Step right up. She'll win that money back pretty fucking easily from all the other people here.
Sure.
But you step out into the glorious sunlight as you can see the carnival is in full swing. You actually see the young halflings sort of excitedly run up past you, Reed, to the halfling carnival barker and the halfling sort of acrobat. Very clearly, they're all 3 related, as she sort of excitedly puts money into their hands and rushes back to the games tent. As they go about their business, you can see the man sort of puts it in a large sort of purse and pats it at his side as he motions, "Come one, come all!" And there are still people streaming in. Now, at the fortune tent itself, you can see.
Nick did just get up.
Yeah, he
I mean,
he
well,
said he'd be right back.
We'll just do Venta first then.
Oh, okay.
Venta!
You can see that people, there's a little bit of a line, people making their way in, but they don't have to stay in too long. Each of them sort of going in, and they sort of nervously, they seem nervous when they come in, and whenever they leave, maybe a couple minutes later, their heads sort of rub their hands together, but they look sort of satisfied. As eventually you make your way in to this darkened tent, there is a large sort of telescope that sticks out the back, and you can see there is a elderly man, a long beard, just this huge white beard that descends, and it's been carefully oiled, and you can see he's split it and braided it in places. And he's got they almost look like little jewels studded into it like stars. And he motions for you to have a seat. You can see he has like a very nice plush chair, and in front of them there are several sort of small jeweled needles, sort of wickedly sharp. As he says, would you like to have your fortunes read?
Yes, sir.
I am Mistress Mirabella, and I am happy to do so. Your hand, please.
I show him my hand. I said I'm sorry. It's kind of might be a little greasy. I had a funnel cake.
That's no worry.
Oh no, Kate.
And he takes one of the pins and he pop, just pokes you right in the finger and draws blood.
Ah!
Did you consent to this?
I did.
Yeah, you fool.
And he sort of squeezes the finger so it wells up with some blood, and he takes your hand and he places it. It almost looks on like a little glass plate that's beneath the telescope, and he sort of smears a little blood on there, and he waits for a moment. As you can see, light begins to. It almost looks like light seems to filter in through the eyepiece of the telescope in reverse, sending what appears to be a cascade of the night sky onto it, although it is daytime outside. As he nods his head, looking at how the stars line up on your blood, as he says, "Interesting. You've had a long and storied life." As he
I'm not
looks at
very
you,
old,
although you don't look old, your blood is.
What else do you see in here, fortune teller?
He looks at you and he says, "Do you see this here?" As he motions to several stars, and you don't fucking see anything. Like you just see a random assortment of dots. This, the Southern Ring. It shows toil and turmoil in your future. I see a jeering facade. I see a trial. Difficult times for you up ahead, young man. Difficult
If
times
only this dude
indeed.
knew.
Oh. Well, that is foreboding. Thank you, sir. And Colin, how much is it for the tent? Does it have a sign or something?
That will be 1 silver piece. Everything's basically a silver piece here. That's that's many people giving 1 silver piece. That's a lot of money adding up.
I mean, yeah.
1 silver piece. But yeah, he sees a trial. He saw a jeering face, and he saw a ring of stars.
All right.
Good luck. He says, "I see food poisoning in your future.
Horrifying.
I see diarrhea, stomach pains."
God, I wonder where he got that from.
Me.
But you turn and you leave. Having had your
You said
blood red.
It was trials. What in a ring of stars?
He saw a jeering face,
Jeering face is what it was.
trials up ahead, a ring of stars. Alright. You step out of the tent, and you realize why people keep rubbing in their hand. The tip of your finger's still a little bit sore, obviously, from having been poked. A little bit of blood drawn. As you turn back over your shoulder, you can see he waves his hand and seems to cast some sort of prestidigitation to clear the blood away, clean the needle. As next person goes in.
I don't know. I don't think that needle's still sterilized even after prestidigitation.
You've got
Magic.
congratulations. You've got
Oh shit!
Hep
You get my
C.
AIDS.
You get my
Oh no, you're
AIDS.
gonna infect all the people after you.
the only.
You get my
I say
AIDS.
the only problem is your AIDS is cured,
I know.
but that's okay. They still get your hepatitis C.
Oh.
All right. You head away. Anybody else? Is Nick back yet?
I just got back, yeah.
All right. You just saw Venta went in, got his fortune read, came out. You're there in line too. As he steps through. You can see he's, like I said, everyone enters looking nervous, but they come out looking pretty satisfied, sort of rubbing their hands. There is this, Mistress Mirabella is, the Blood Reader is actually an old man, an old, long, white beard, with, beautiful sort of gems studded in his, beard and things like that. His tent is darkened, it's got a telescope that seems to stick out of it from the back. You enter and, there's a large, very nice cushioned chair, sitting across from him, and there's a table that has several, needles, and, immediately, you can feel the closest thing to whatever a Thri-kreen can to mouthwater, because the whole room stinks like blood.
Oh god. That's why his mouth's watering. How horrifying.
It stinks of blood of all sorts. Human, elf, old, young, dwarf, halfling, even a little bit of infernal in there somewhere. It's a heady aroma that wafts into your nose as he has you sit down. Says, "Would you like your blood fortunes read?"
Yeah, that's
Normal.
He says, "Very well," and he picks up one of the needles and takes your hand and sort of says, "Hold out your finger." As he takes your finger and he takes the needle and pop, pokes the tip of your finger. He has to do it quite forcefully, but he nods his head and says, "Oh, we've traveled so many places. I know how to deal with the Thri-kreen's carapace."
well, hopefully you know how to deal with my blood specifically.
As the sort of the blood sort of slowly wells up as he looks at it and you have dead blood.
That I do.
My reaction to that information.
Fancy that.
He just sort of shrugs, and he takes the little bit he does have and smears it on the glass plate beneath it, and he says, "You're not the first dead blood to walk through here, and you won't be the last."
You know, as long as there's no judgment, I don't mind.
This is a judgment-free zone.
Yeah.
He says, "You don't have to worry about that. Our carnival is a strange and motley assortment." And, but he leans back and he, much like with Venta, he waits for a moment for the light to seem to reverse in through the telescope, and it actually shines out the eyepiece, and it shows basically stars of the night sky, even though it's daytime outside. And he looks at how it sort of falls on your blood. And he sort of ponders it for a moment, and he says, "I see the Great Divide. A chasm of blackness in the sky. I see one hand separated from another. He sort of shakes his head. That is a lonely future."
Yeah. I knew that when I made my deal, so.
He says, "But that is what I see. And yet a place in the stars is there."
That's good to know.
That'll be 1 silver piece.
Sure. I give him a gold. Thanks for your time.
He nods his head and says, "It was always the followers of the Lady of Fate that appreciated my talents the most."
Yeah.
He wishes you luck. As you sort of walk out, like I said, rubbing your finger a little bit where it's still a little bit sore. And, leave. Head out. Finding sort of following not too far behind Venta, as everybody's had a chance to go and enjoy a little bit of the carnival. As you can see, quite a bit of the day has passed while you've been strolling around and playing games and doing petting zoos, and then enjoying the sights and the sounds. There was a lot of like very happy children that sort of you have to sort of squeeze past as they run to and fro, and there's quite a few very sort of dour looking adults chasing after them, their arms laden with various souvenirs and goods that they buy from the nearby tents and things like that, as you kind of all end up in the sort of center of the the center of the clearing here to reconvene briefly. It's like I said, some time has passed. It's not quite time for the big top show yet. If you want to do anything else, investigate anything else, you can. There's the Grand Carousel, there's the Tent of Terrors, there's still people can go to the petting zoo and fuck with the animals and shit. Play some games.
I'm gonna go to the Tent of Terrors.
Okay. I'm gonna go get a drink though, real fast, because I'm out of water. We are gonna, regardless, absolutely, the demented Dr. Dermot stands in front of his Tent of Terrors. As you approach, you can see there are two sort of medium-sized cages that appear to have what appears to be, it appears to be some sort of like shadowy figure, misshapen and terrible to behold, and you can make out two yellowish eyes peering up out of this shadowy form, as there is a haunch of meat sitting at like just outside of arm's length from the cage, as every now and then the shadow kind of reaches out and you can see it tries to get to the meat, and the cages shake as Dr. Dermot just kicks it and says, "Settle down." You can see, despite the fact that the carnival itself is pretty packed and filled with excited people, Dr. Dermot's Tent of Terrors is, perhaps understandably, something that is avoided, especially by the younger children. There is indeed something quite off-putting about the rattling cages. You can hear every now and then sort of groans from within. You can see there are still a couple of people going in as he holds out like he's got like, you know how mad scientists have like those almost like black leather gloves.
Yeah.
He sort of put it in there. He's takes it, looks at it, and just puts it in his white lab coat and lets people go by. He says, "If you lose your lunch in there, I'm gonna make you clean it up with your fucking mouth."
God dang.
To me?
Just the person he gave it to, just some random guy.
Oh.
Step right up, blah blah blah. He pulls out his flask and drinks it, puts it back.
I like this guy already.
He looks at you.
Colin,
Yeah.
why are you doing so many self-inserts today?
I know, right? As you approach, he says, another wonderful and valued customer. A Thrycreen, too. I guess we are getting it to be about that part of the world. I do lose track of it, I'm afraid. This is my Tent of Terrors. Enter at your own risk. It'll be 1 silver entry. Please don't tap the tanks.
Yeah.
As he sort of takes it, and he sort of motions for you. The tent flap, he holds the tent flap open. It's dark inside. You can see it's not just a mere open, it's not like just a mere open like tent. You can see there's been almost like a small walkway that's been constructed using basically screens to guide you through the tent, as there is a little, every now and then, just the occasional little bit of mood lighting. You can see perfectly fine, obviously. But the majority of people coming in here are human, and so it's scary for them. On the inside, to you, considering the things you've seen, it's certainly interesting. You can see that there are tanks that are filled with some sort of liquid or some sort of brine, perhaps. It almost smells like a little bit like decay and like pickling solution. You can like smell the salty water in the air, and floating in these tanks are just these strange, deformed, fetal-looking specimens. Some of them have very, almost animalistic things about them. You can see a couple have tusks, but not like orc tusks. They're something like a boar's. Some of them have scales. They're all small enough that they can fit in maybe like a 2-foot tall jar. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Perception. You're really good. You rolled a 2. It's still 16.
I mean, he's really good at perception.
I know. Alakul just has like 5 eyes. It's crazy.
If it matters, my passive perception is 29.
Jesus
You
Christ.
are you see one sort of twitch and turn towards you, and you're not sure if it was just settling in the water or if it actually moved. But then it sits still, and your eyes are quickly diverted by something else, sort of much smaller than the jars, maybe a foot tall, maybe a 1.5 feet tall. I guess that's not much smaller than the jar. It's a little bit smaller than the jar. You can see these, like, figures. And they look like dolls. Porcelain dolls. Very similar to, very similar to the one that you saw earlier, the clown with the terrifying clown face, but these appear to be like girls in dresses, sort of lace dresses or green dresses with white lace, and you can see they have wickedly sharp pins that they carry with them in their hands, and you can see as one of them sort of rushes up to a person, not you, but there's someone in front of you that's walking forward, and all of a sudden you hear them go, "Ow!" as the doll pokes the pin in their ankle and then retreats away. The hell was that? This place is haunted!
This place is sus.
Does it look like they did it to draw blood, or are they just like trying to startle them?
It definitely looks like they drew blood.
Is the doctor like in the tent too, or is he just standing outside?
Nope, he just stands outside.
Okay.
Alright. That causes the people to quickly run out the door, looks of terrors on their face. As you hear Dr. Dermot say, "I hope you didn't throw up in there." Fucking kids. And he keeps shouting, but that's most of what you see. It's a strange and disturbing display. You can see why it is indeed a tent of terrors, because they're clearly not fake. There's something that existed. They're clearly made of flesh. It's pretty fucked up, honestly.
Well, I go back out and I ask him like, so what's with the dolls?
He sort of raises an eyebrow. What dolls?
The ones with the needles?
Are you fucking serious? He you can see he rushes in there and says, "Are you little shit stealing souls again? I swear to God!" As you can see, he just rummages around. You hear a couple glasses breaking. You can hear what sounds like a thud as something goes, eh! And scatters. You can see the tent flap. The back of the tent like flutters as 3 of these dolls go rushing out into the carnival itself. As he sort of returns and says, "I'll tell you what. Working for the circus isn't all it's cracked up to be."
Well,
Did they They didn't poke you, did they?
no, they poked that guy that ran out just a second ago.
Oh. Yeah, that dude doesn't have a soul anymore. That's a fucking shame. Well, that's life.
Not my problem.
I feel that, my man. He says, drink. He like reaches in for the flask.
Sure.
You don't seem to be as cowed of these weird things as most of the people here. You seem like you've seen a lot of shit.
I have seen a great amount of shit in my day.
He is the epitome of shit seeing.
He sort of nods his head and says, huh, well, be thankful you can even get out and see shit. I'm stuck in this damn carnival.
Why are you stuck?
He sort of motions around to the other workers. I mean, we all are. We're sort of bound to it.
Like forced or just, you know, kind of in a rut?
I mean, forced initially, no. We all sort of gave up our freedom for a grand life of adventure, of seeing the world and the plains and all that. It's exciting whenever you start out, to be sure, but after you've been doing it for... God, he sort of says, I've been doing it for almost 30 years now. It becomes all very dull. But, sign the contract. The master doesn't let his carnies go too easily.
That's, I mean, you know,
Fortunate.
unfortunate.
Yeah. And if you try to run away, he sends those little shits after you. Drags your soul back. You never get away.
Well,
Like I said, I've seen every part of this damn world and most of the other planes. Traveled through Stahlreich, Genma Dynasty, the Weird Sea. You'd think, wow, isn't it weird to have a carnival with a big top tent in the middle of a tropical ocean? It's fucking weird. But we do it anyways.
yeah, no, that's a weird place. So where are the things from then?
He says, what, the dolls?
No, the things in your tanks and jars and such.
Oh. He sort of looks around, and he, undoes his big lab coat, and he sort of opens it. You can see he's got like it almost looks like a guado on him that's growing out. Yeah, they fall off me like fucking leaves.
Huh. What the fuck?
Part of the curse. Part of being bound here. We all serve our purpose. Mine was to be the demented doctor with a tent of terrors. I thought that would just be, you know, like stitching a squirrel to a fish, but no, that's not interesting enough. I grow these little shits on me, and they fall off. Throw them in a jar. I mean, it's to tell you the truth, it's a lot more terrifying than a squirrel sewn to a fish, but it's not very convenient. That's why I drink. He sort of looks at him and says, I don't even know. I mean, they kind of move.
Sussy man, sussy baka over
Alec
here.
Cool moves. He's not alive.
I just throw him. I throw him in the jar.
Alec Cole moves.
I just throw him in the jar and toss him in the exhibit.
Well,
I mean, it sucks.
yeah, no, I agree. That's I mean, I'm cursed to live alone forever, and I think that's pretty terrible.
He says, "You want to join a circus?
Not right now.
Because they'll take you." He sort of looks at you. The master's got a gimmick for everyone.
It's quite all right. I have a job to do right now, but maybe if I get bored enough in 100 years.
He sort of says, "Well, I might not be around then, but the circus will be, so
Yeah.
But he says, "But it's nice talking to you. Nice talking to you."
You too, man. Good luck with the growth things.
Oh well. He just sort of shrugs. Goes back to his spiel. All right, everybody, line up. If you piss your pants, you're mopping it up. And then sort of letting people come in as you make your way back to the center. And now, perhaps the beautiful sort of exciting, flourish, sort of golden or garish tints take on a slightly more sinister look, as if they're all watching you now. As this carnival is indeed more than it seems.
My God.
My God. All right.
Couldn't have seen that coming.
I mean, did the spooky carnival interest opening not give that away?
No, I was too entranced by the animals and wanted to go to the Feywild.
All right. Aruna says, "I ain't going to the Feywild. My bitch sister lives there."
Well, that's fair. Have a good day, Aruna.
My nose is bleeding. All right.
Oh, I was confused for a second. I was like, oh yeah.
Aruna hangs out in the middle. She talks to the carnival barker and his the acrobats that are still performing tricks. Every now and then, like I said, you see the halfling girl sort of excitedly run out and hand them money as he puts it in the pocket and puts it away, pats it every now and then. What would anyone else like to do? Otherwise, we are moving on.
Well, where has anyone not been?
The Grand Carousel is
Grand
one thing,
Carousel.
but that's just it's basically just a
Oh,
ride.
and stories.
And stories.
Let's all gather at the stories. I want to hear a story.
That's fine.
I mean, that's fine. It's my choice.
I said I'll meet up there. That's what I meant, Cody, because I have to choose to go there too.
Fuck you. I want to go where I want to go.
Okay, you
Tommy's
do that, Cody.
dead. Tommy's dead.
Fine.
I know.
Jeez.
I can't believe he died. The two, you can see the grinning grinder is, he can't speak. He is no voice box. He reenacts basically stories through puppet shows. Holding up
That's
crude dolls, that are sort of crude, battered dolls, and depicting out scenes that are, despite the fact that there are many children around, seem far too violent for a child. As you can see, he uses like red, like kerchiefs and like streamers to make it look like there's like viscera and blood coming out of them as they're fighting. It shows what appears to be a story of war between a woman in black and a man with a wide-brimmed top hat. You can see the woman in black holds a sort of dark sword. It looks like it's made out of some sort of tinted glass. Surprisingly, the Grit and Grinder is able to pretty expertly manipulate these puppets. They actually almost seem to move themselves at some times, as the woman brandishes the sword at the wide-hatted man. And you can see she sort of makes it so that it looks like they're bashing into each other and fighting. And you can see, he sets them down and he quickly goes and, he gets what appears to be another one of these purple handkerchiefs and he makes like a tent, that is held up by, several of these other dolls. And then he starts making motions for the two fighting over the tent and trying to take control of the tent, until suddenly he turns and he tosses the woman's doll into the fire, and there is a terrible keening cry, a scream as realistic as if it were from a person itself, so the doll burns, and you can see in the fire, the doll moves, and it writhes in pain, rolls around as if it itself were feeling the flames itself before falling still. And then the Grit and Grinder holds up the remaining doll, the one with the white top hat, and sort of shakes it up and down excitedly, as there are children just traumatized by this whole affair.
I can only wonder why.
And as the children run off, you can see the Grit and Grinder just sort of cocks his head, looking up. He's still got the huge smile on his face, but you can see it's a look of, like, confusion on his cocked head. As he shakes his head, he goes to the fire and he sticks his hand in, he pulls the doll out. Shakes it, and it seems to dust off, and you can see almost immediately it restores from being burnt to normal as he sets it down and sits there himself and waits for the more people to come so we can tell the story once again. Those dolls are not fucking normal, clearly, though. I mean, one literally screamed and writhed in pain when it got tossed in the fire.
We need to alert OSHA to this shit.
But yeah, he sits cross-legged waiting for more people to come to watch.
I take back what I said. I don't go watch that. I don't want you to describe it to me again.
Alright. So, he holds up the dolls.
No.
Or watch it over and over again.
Cover your eyes.
See, this is why Nick's not allowed near like playgrounds, because he's like, "Hey kids, you want to see a magic trick?" And he like takes their doll and lights it on fire.
You can see, eventually he gets kind of bored, and then he rushes up to you, Reed, with the dolls, and he starts shaking them at you with his wide-brimmed face, or his wide grinning face. He keeps shaking the dolls at you, and he keeps like making them fight, and he nods his head excitedly as he just kind of pesters you before the halfling Barker sort of shouts, "Fuck off, Grinder," as the woman says, "Get the hell out of here, you little shit. Sorry about that. He's a bit of an odd one."
Do you know what he wanted with me?
Your pussy.
She sort of shakes her head and says, "He works on the master's whims."
Okay, but I'm still wondering just why he was focused on me specifically. But
it's probably because you're him-sized.
Racism in action.
and is the ringmaster at the big top?
They sort of look at each other and sort of nod their heads, and he says, "He is ringmaster, owner, overseer of the carnival itself. Determines
Does he
where
have a
we
name?
go, and he is just the master. Just the master."
The master.
I think we should take a look into him, guys. I don't like people that don't have names.
It's just strange.
They tend to be hiding things.
The man nods his head and says, I feel that. Speaking of names, what's yours, lad?
I am Reed Underbow of the Emerald Mantis, and these are my companions, Alakul, Karakwa, Venta, and Henley.
And Aruna.
And people that have just decided to.
She's not here right
be
now.
For one reason or another.
She just suddenly that elf that's just suddenly stopped at your entrance and has just stood there for a couple hours. Yeah, don't know what's up with her right now.
He sort of smiles at you. Says, "Name's Roramic. This is my wife, Sibyl. Young."
Right. And this is Abby the Aboleth, and I'm gonna lift up my fish.
He says, "I see you've met our daughter Darcy then."
If she's the one manning that station, then yes.
He sort of nods his head and says, yes, she's the one. Really her first job with the carnival. Keep it simple, you know." And they sort of look at each other and they nod to each other. Keep it simple. Well, Master Reed Underbow of the Emerald Mantis Monastery. He says, once again would like to apologize for the...
No need. I mean, it doesn't seem like you guys have any control over him. So, it's not you who should be apologizing.
But even so, he sort of nods his head and says, yeah. Look a bit gaunt, lad. Why don't you go have something to eat at the food tent? Tell him we sent you.
Well, how could I deny such a polite request? Thank you.
Of course. Will you
Charge you triple.
Will you be sticking around for the show later?
That was certainly the plan.
He sort of nods his head and says, well, I believe tonight, he sort of says, Sibyl is going to be taking center stage, leaping through the flaming rings.
Kraka goes, woo! In the back. That's the kind of thing.
I'd love for you to see it. He goes and he climbs back onto the stand and says, come on! As Sibyl goes and joins him, playing around with the very sort of tame lion as she sort of leaps around it, doing handstands and cartwheels and jumping jacks and things like that. And you do see the young girl Darcy once again rushes out and hands a couple pieces to him as he pockets it and puts it in a like a bag and pats it, making sure everything's there. And she rushes back to the games tent, and you were able to go get some food, Reed.
Food.
Fucking food.
And as long as they don't try to fry up Abby.
No. They're trying to fatten you up. They said you look gaunt.
Oh.
I'm not a pescatarian.
Like I said, the food stalls are run by the bearded lady, the obese bearded lady.
Oh, good. That means the food's good.
That means the food's great. And they've got all sorts of basically, if it's fair food, they got it. Funnel cakes, corn dogs,
Deep fried Oreos.
deep fried Mars bars and Snickers bars.
Oh god.
Nimkers.
She says, "Gonna help you, young man."
Yeah, bye.
Lost Henley. Yeah, those two
He's back.
sent me over to get something.
Oh,
They recommended your food.
Roramic and Sibyl are good folks. Good folks.
Did it keep Nick too? That was fucking weird.
No, just you.
My Discord is like refreshed.
How about, she looks at you and says, you look like you could, use a little meat on the bones there. You're thin. Which Reed
Yeah,
probably is pretty thin
that's what they said
for a
too.
halfling.
It's the monk diet.
She says, I'm
All
not
that penis.
gonna fucking let you go away until you eat this whole bloomin' onion.
Oh
He
god.
insists
Oh god, you're gonna
entirely
shit
on
so hard.
It's like 6,000 calories.
They really are. They honestly really are.
But
They're
they're
so good,
they're
though.
so
I love them
good.
so much. They're so fucking good.
She gives you like
I'm
a
not even
deep
fan
fried.
of onions, and I like bloomin' onions.
She gives you a deep fried onion with a thick meat, like zesty sauce. She says, "It's on the house." But nah, she don't have to eat it. You couldn't eat it all yourself. It's
Oh my god, you feel
it's like
so
the size of your torso.
I think you'd actually just die.
Go share it with your friends and family. Tell them to come on back to the food stand. She says, we sell extra salty French fries for a silver apiece, and glasses of sweet tea for 2 gold.
Damn, that's very expensive sweet tea.
Yeah, but once you
Gotta
eat
be
those
fucking good,
cheap
though.
fries, those salty cheap fries, and you're dying of thirst, like, sorry, there's no water here. You gotta get the sweet tea.
Alright,
Oh, fuck you, it's
Reed's
one of
gonna head back to the others while trying to juggle both the fish and the bloomin' onion.
All right.
How do you carry this really hot blooming onion?
You
Reed, I'm asking Reed. I'm asking Reed.
You make your way back to the group with the bloomin' onion in hand. It's enough for everybody. Honestly, there's enough calories in it for everybody to have a meal.
No,
Gotta count
no.
them calories.
A blooming onion is just a snack for one person.
It is
Carl.
true.
I
It's
want, like,
it's an
this
appetizer for a person.
I hold it up like this and eat it. I'm like,
No, I just take bites and eat the breading off of it, and then hand read the onion.
oh, you're a bitch.
Aw.
You're a little bitch.
I want the good parts.
The onion is the good part. It would be great without this infernal fried breading on over it.
No, it's perfect altogether.
You take something natural that grows in the ground, a good onion which has layers.
And then you add the
ruin
other
it.
things that grow naturally in the ground on top of it.
You know what else has layered? Parfait. Nobody tell me I don't like no parfait.
Who the fuck is listening to Gordon Ramsay?
Me.
He's watching Bloomin' Onion video.
Finally, some good fucking food. All
There's
right.
a Gordon Ramsay bloomin' onion video.
No, it was someone mixing Cool Ranch Doritos and milk, and then he swirled it
Oh, no, I
around
saw that.
until it like whipped and processed it, and then like made ice cream out of it. That's fucking
Yeah, he
insane.
made Cool Ranch
that's
Dorito flavored ice cream. I
Not
saw that. It's gross.
That's too much.
All right. Alacool, do you tell them anything that you saw about what you saw in the Tent of Terrors?
I warned the owners not really on the up and up, and people here kind of like no, they're kind of like, you remember that place where we had to free those fucking prisoners? It's kind of like that. I forget what the name of that place was. It was like a zoo.
Mr. Mystical's Magical Menagerie.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
that, but less slavey. I think
Less slavey, you think?
like ever so slightly less slavey.
I think you should know whether something is slavey or not.
No, it's definitely slavey, but like, this would be illegal in the United States of America. Is all I'm saying.
Oh. Because the United States of America.
Is
It's
that like the Feywild?
yeah, it's the Feywild
Yeah.
for white people.
The Feywild for
Isn't the Feywild just the Feywild for white people?
No, the Feywild's the Feywild for people who listen to, fuck, what's that shitty band?
Nickelback.
No, the chick singing, everyone likes them. Fleetwood Mac.
That's my me
I
now.
don't know. Fleetwood Mac is on a shitty band. I know what you're talking about.
Pretty popular.
Thought you were
Bad
gonna
take,
say,
Cody.
like the Plastic Ono band or something like that.
I thought you were gonna say like Hailstorm.
Yeah, I can't stand Hailstorm either.
All right.
There's something about her voice.
Her
So,
voice in some songs, but
as-
yeah, it's not for
like I
everybody.
said, time has been passing. It's been getting darker and darker. It's been getting later in the day. It's October, so it starts getting dark moderately early.
Literally.
The fires continue to burn, and you can see the crowd continues to go from place to place until finally it's time for the big top to open, as stepping through the doorway is this basically this man wearing a sort of wide brimmed hat. I wonder if I can. I don't think I have character art for him, but I wonder if I can.
Why not?
Because I didn't fucking copy it.
You should have.
I wonder if I can. I can show the token. It's kind of zoomed up.
Show me the token. Show.
That dude's not devil.
I'm closing the token. He's spooky.
He's got like
He's
fire coming out of his chest.
has a wide brimmed it's not really wide, but he wears a top hat. He has a long sort of dark red coat on, and it almost looks like a mask that's made of bone that descends over his face. His eyes seem to glow in it as he says, "I would like to thank and welcome everyone for coming to my fine carnival. To end this day, I invite all of you to come see a show in the Big Top, featuring the lovely Sabine, our acrobat extraordinaire, leaping through rings of increasing danger and difficulty. Entry is 1 gold piece, and you will not regret."
Doubt.
And he sort of smiles broadly, and as he does so,
I don't think I've spent gold yet without regretting it.
as he does so, his sort of words washing over the cloud. I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh my
It is
god.
it is against charm.
Ooh, I have advantage.
28. Ooh, we're rolling hot today, boys. Rolling hot today.
Damn.
You said
Did
wisdom
you do
saving
that?
throw?
Wisdom.
It is
was the
against
saving
against
throw.
charm.
Oh man, I got a 14.
So if you've got stuff that benefits you from you being charmed, or not being against being charmed, basically.
I don't believe I have anything.
It
Sad
was
to say.
a-
Sad to say.
It was DC 16, so not super
Oh, I was
hard.
close.
If you failed, I mean, you're not like, it's not like your brain control, but you know what? It seems like the show's probably gonna be like really interesting. The type of thing that you might never get to see again. I mean,
My god.
you've never seen this carnival before, you might never see it again. This could be the one chance you ever have to see this astounding, incredible show. A gold is a steal. Everyone else, if
My
you passed
God.
you don't feel remotely
we're
compelled
here.
to go
We
see
might
the
as well
show.
check it out. It's not like I have a great use for all of this hundreds of gold that I have anyway. Karakwa says, carrying his small pouch with 3,454 pieces of gold.
I mean, yeah, but that's because you're high-level characters. To like these random people, that's a lot of fucking money.
We'll tell you what then. How many people are all out here?
I'll say about 200.
About 200?
I'll tell you what, Hanley's excited for this carnival performance.
We're gonna pay for
I
everybody.
go to the man. Like, how many people are like clamoring to get in?
Most of them. 16's
Okay.
a pretty high fucking roll for the average person.
I'm a little intrigued. I want to see what's going on here. The people obviously look poor and everything, right? I know I've seen that everything here, like in the games and stuff, has mostly been a scam with slight, like, genuine thing. But I'll go to him and I say, if it would please, if it is acceptable to you, I would give 200 gold pieces for everyone in here to attend.
He sort of looks at you and he says, "Big spender. It
You
matters
see, these
not
people
who pays the
have-
toll, only that it is paid." And he sort of
Very
smiles broadly, as he takes the gold and pockets it.
Right.
He steps to the side, motioning to the tent, and says, "This kind fellow has seen that everybody gets to see the show tonight." As the crowd excitedly goes through, and he smiles at you, and he tips his hat. I hope that you enjoyed the show.
I'm a little sussed out right now, but honestly, we'll see where this is going. I'm curious to see. We'll see how much I regret this in a moment.
It's like, cool, now I have 200 slaves.
All right. You head in. Who's the last person to go in?
It'd be the last. I guess I would make sure everyone gets in. Make sure every person is accounted for the gold, and I'd go
Considering
in.
I'm like, man, I'm super excited to see this. I probably would not be the first, or I would not be the last.
Hey, puppy.
I push Reed out of the way as I go in.
You might never get
it's
to.
me.
This is not just the first time you've seen a circus. You get to see the Big Top show.
I do.
My God.
Gracie, go away.
Literally, probably no one could stop me from getting to the front of the line.
All right.
I could. But...
You can see he steps.
That's magic. I'm talking about like I was just forcing my way through the crowd. No one probably
he
could
like
stop
gives
me.
he like gives a wide berth to let people go in. Like I said, it's only got the one entrance, so it takes a little time for people to come in. As he steps to the side and makes his way sort of towards the side of the tent, you can see the demented Dr. Dermot goes up to him, and the two argue for a little while.
What do they argue about?
I'll roll a perception check.
29.
You over the din of the crowd, it's hard to hear, but you do hear the ringmaster, the master, say, "You knew what you signed up for. The consequences of your actions are your own to suffer." As you can see, he like lifts up his coat and he shows like this growth, and the ringmaster just kind of shrugs and says, "Go back to your tent." And he says it with such force that he actually sort of takes a step back and goes back to his tent. And not long after that, you can see people file in as Karakwa. You're I suppose, one of the last people to go in as the ringmaster turns to follow in. You can see as these two go and they head, you can see, like I said, this doesn't take place like right next to you. By then you're like heading inside the tent.
Sure.
But just outside the tent, you can see that Rorimac sort of comes forward and he takes the coin purse that he's been putting coins in, and he sort of offers it. He almost has a pleading look on his face as he hands it to the ringmaster, who just sort of raises an eyebrow and shakes his head and says, "It's not enough." And he just turns and walks in the doorway as the two sort of hang their head and follow inside.
Okay.
I'm starting to get the feeling this dude's a cunt.
of the big top.
Is that away?
The inside of the big top is brightly lit with all sorts of garish lights. They are clearly magical and hanging in the air, casting purples and blues and greens and reds, yellows, and they float in and amongst the crowd. Initially, just casting dim light, but soon growing brighter and brighter and becoming a more uniform color as the entirety of the big top is lit up. You can see it sits much like you would expect it to, somewhat elliptical around a central clearing of what appears to be like sand or some sort of dirt. There have been currently the grinning grinder sort of rushes about the crowd, sort of brandishing dolls and sort of laughing, and you can see chases a couple children around playfully, but the children don't seem to take it very playfully, but he doesn't pursue them for very long before he goes to someone else and sort of he clowns around with them. You can see demented Dr. Dermot sort of steps inside the tent flak, a sort of grim look on his face. He just kind of stands towards the back, doesn't bother sitting down, and just keeps drinking from his flask. You can see there's many other, there's many kind of implements and ramps and like huge rings at the center. There's a tightrope above the clearing. You can see there's like trampolines and springs and all sorts of things, and like several of the animals, including the nightmares, have been brought inside the tent. And it all is being overseen from a large central raised booth where you can see the ringmaster sits, his hands steepled, as he watches on at all the entire affair, a slight smile on his face, his eyes still glowing red beneath the skull half mask. It all starts with the nightmares flying straight through the air, streaks of flame behind them above the crowd, leaving a trail that slowly dissipates in the air until they fly from different ends of the big top straight towards each other through the rings, which light on fire as they pass through it, and they just pass through by each other in a ring, as they miss each other by maybe an inch or two, and continue onward, soaring about as Rormak comes to the center and motions towards Sibyl, saying, "My beautiful wife, Sibyl, the tumbler," as Sibyl goes into a choreographed routine as she leaps on the trampoline and through rings, and she tumbles and flips, and you can see as Rormak sort of steps back, Darcy comes to stand behind them as the two watch obviously his wife and her mother leaping through the air, performing beautifully. You can see why she is no doubt a sort of prize act, a main act, someone that can entertain the whole show, be the headline, as she does it with such dexterity and deftness. And the show lasts for, it's not a wildly long show. It doesn't last like an hour, but I need everybody roll perception checks for me. If you failed the charm, it is with disadvantage.
Oh man, I rolled a crit.
I got a 9, Colin.
I got a 9 too.
I got a 23.
13.
Hold on, I think I should have advantage. I need to make sure. Is it based on sight, Colin?
It is.
28.
Alright.
Or my passive of 29, whichever you want to use.
You can see, Alec Cool, every now and then, beneath the stands, like, because it's kind of tiered stands, a little bit of movement, as there are these same dolls. As you see, they move to and fro, and the enthralled crowd, they take their little needles and poke it into the ankles of a person. In fact, I want... let's see. I guess I'll make it random.
If I see that, Colin, I'm gonna get on the earpiece and say, cover your ankles and make sure that nothing pokes you. There are creepy dolls about.
I'm wearing magma boots, so we're good.
Does it have to be your ankle?
It can
whatever
be
is near the ground.
it can be anywhere.
Yeah, just cover yourself and be alert for little creepy dolls like the grinder.
I pull my feet up onto my chair and I kind of sit in the fetal position.
And the gentleman that had the tent of terror said they steal souls.
How serious was he? Was that part of his scary routine?
He seemed really annoyed that they were in his tent, so I think he was at least 80 to 90% serious.
See the same thing that he's seen because we have the same perception roll. Oh, he has a 28. I have a 23. So only he sees it, Colin. I thought he rolled a 23 at first before the advantage.
It was a DC 22, so you would have seen it.
Okay. And we must
So
put the
yeah,
stop.
I make sure they're pointed out.
All right.
We need to put a stop to this now.
God.
But you do see they're not going like to every person picking them. It's like they pick and choose. They're not taking everybody. They're just sort of going up and almost choosing at random, just a handful, a small assortment of the group, of the assembled people. As the time ends, the event comes to an end, with Sybil left sort of sheened in sweat, face red, standing at the center of the ring, hands outstretched, pieces of her costume singed a little bit. The crowd applauds loudly, excitedly, as the ringmaster rises and says, "I hope that you all enjoyed my carnival, and I hope to see you all here next time we come." And he sort of smiles broadly, and people begin filing out.
Everyone, or does anyone stay?
A couple people sort of are slow and lethargic to get up, but they do start moving towards the exit.
Oh, that was a fun show. We should definitely come in another sometime.
How are we approaching this, Alacool?
I think we should just leave.
Just leave?
I mean, if you want to try and... I feel like if we attempt to fight, he's just going to leave. He doesn't seem like he's the person who's super bothered by just poofing out of here, if you catch my drift.
I don't think I do.
I think he's not the way they spoke of him, he's not weak, I don't think. I think he's probably not even human.
There's obviously something going on here that needs to be looked into, though.
I mean,
If what you say is
agree.
true.
I don't know how much we will actually be able to look into it. If he's as strong as they say he is, then I imagine, like I said, he'll just leave with them. But if you want to, I'm not going to stop you, and I will help. I just don't know what we'll be able to do. Who is not? Who didn't fail the wisdom save?
I failed both.
I think it was just Lou and Henley. Or
No,
Reed and Henley.
I think Venta failed too, didn't he?
I did, even with
Yeah.
my
Wow.
advantage of being a half.
All right. Yeah. No. I
I don't think we're affected anymore though, because the show's over.
Colin, are they still like?
Don't see anything wrong with.
They don't. I mean, the show. They were compelled to come in and spend money on the show, but they're not. They're not like senseless.
Okay. Well, it's your call, Rockwell. I honestly wouldn't know where to even start with this.
Obviously, we can confront him. Or the others.
Well,
Before we went in, he was arguing with the others, other Carnival carnies here, about payment not being enough.
I mean,
And I looked at everyone else. You've had to have seen some truly strange things here, yes? Worrying things.
I saw some. He has some fire horses and a cold cow.
I mean, that's just.
All I saw was getting cheated out of 3 silver.
Those
Those
assholes.
unpoppable balloons. At least I got my fish.
Is the fish dead or is it alive?
No,
Has it
it's
already died?
It's alive. It's like a little koi fish.
Little koi fish. That they claimed was a baby aboleth.
Yeah, it's all part of the spin.
They're going around and poking and drawing and poking them and to people around here. It's obviously something strange going on.
What are we even talking about? I don't think you've explained this situation.
We did explain the situation.
Did you say it was stealing souls? I don't remember you saying
Yeah,
that.
I did.
Yeah.
I said
Okay, my bad.
That was what the doctor said. That
Oh, that's right. That's right. You did say that. My bad.
And let's go talk to him and see.
Yeah.
Figure out. Even if it's just something, even if it's just a fluke and he's just exaggerating for the effect of terror, then it doesn't sit right to even have that idea, that thought there, and not do something.
I agree. We can go speak to the doctor, and we'll go from there then.
Away we go.
All right. You make your way out of the with the crowd out of the tent, and you can see at this point most people are leaving the carnival entirely. Heading through the gates. Several of them sort of lag slowly, almost listlessly to the gate, as if they're in a total daze. Maybe a score, 20 or so of them, making their way through the gate. As you sort of hang around, you can see most of the workers are beginning to head to their tents. You can see demented Dr. Dermot is standing with Mistress Mirabella, the old man. He looks outside of his tent, in the sort of light of the fire. He looks fabulous with his beautiful kind of his white beard with the gems in it, sort of glistening. It's sort of beautiful, sort of velvety blue robes catching the light. as they two sort of stand next to each other as demented Dr. Dermot sees you approaches and says, "Show's over, boss. Time to go home."
He's saying that to us.
Yeah, he says, "Count yourself lucky you can even go home." I mean, those, he sort of looks out towards the 20 or so listlessly walking away. Count yourself lucky you aren't one of those guys. You know, they got a short end stick tonight.
Is there a way to undo that?
Can I also roll insight on that?
Yeah.
Damn. I don't roll insight on that.
He sort of shrugs and says, "Not that I know of."
Do you know what it actually does to them?
Oh, they're like, everything I've ever seen. They're kind of like husks of people. It's weird because it's almost genius in a way. They're still alive, right? They're still out there doing things. And whenever the carnival gets back around here, they're gonna start handing out flyers.
That's strange.
People don't even know where they get them from, but that's
Maybe
that's part of the fun of the carnival. They just appear out of nowhere.
I mean, the flyers were appearing in our
Eggs.
on our our chicken eggs on our ship.
Yeah, that's just the type of thing that happens. Everywhere the carnival goes.
That's as odd.
Why is he doing this then? Is it just for profit for himself?
He sort of leans in and says, "You'd have to ask him. He doesn't appreciate us prying into his shit very much."
Ito was here.
Ito walks in behind us. What did I miss? What kind of show is going on?
What did I miss, guys?
We're at a shitty carnival.
What did I miss?
We're at a
have a
shitty.
fish.
We had a shitty
Oh,
carnival.
yeah,
Reed has a baby owlif fish.
You've been sucking off.
He left.
Well, it's definitely canon now. He's been sucking off goats for the past 3 hours.
Yeah, Ito.
It's not an
Ito,
actual apple.
Fucking what?
It's
Ito
a koi fish.
failed. Ito failed a roll to not suck the goat's cock, and that's what he's been doing.
Yeah,
Critically
the whole time. Critically failed. He loves it.
I did.
It's not a
I did the
failure
whole
if you call it.
goldfish game, but they marketed them as baby abolus.
So I saw something truly majestic,
Okay.
if I may. So I'm at a skate rink for a birthday party, right? And everybody's just dropping their shoes and shit on a table instead of using the lockers because they're fucking barbarians. So I'm trying to find a place to sit down to read, and I couldn't find one in this black family, the only black family in the whole building.
In Arizona.
In Arizona, they take pity on me and they say I can sit there. And so I'm sitting there reading my book. They're mostly ignoring me. But then there's this long pause, and I hear the whole family in unison go, "Oh no!" And the pause is long enough that I look up from my book and I wonder what the fuck's going on. And then I hear over the loudspeaker a sound that scared the shit out of me. As over the loudspeaker came, "Sierra!" And I watched as 300 white midgets hit the skate rink and started trying to do the two-step.
Oh,
in
jeez.
skates.
It's a weird place.
And yeah, no, this family was laughing for about 30 minutes.
Anyway, what you've missed, TLDR, this is a shitty carnival with rigged games and not so great, but maybe great fortune tellers and storytellers and creepy people and the Tent of Terrors. And the Tent of Terrors, when Alakul was in there, he noticed that there was these weird dolls that were poking people in the ankles and it was making people scream. And as he was coming out, the guy who runs the tent says, well, those people just lost their souls. And Alakul's like, what? He's like, yeah, they ain't got no souls now. But then when we went into the big top, and BT Dubs, they got no soul. So we went into the big top and watched the show, which the ringleader did like a big charming thing, trying to gather everyone in. During the show, me and Alakul noticed that there were some of those dolls going around and poking people and they were leaving listlessly, like they were very fatigued and lethargic. And now we're talking to the man who runs the thing, or you hear about the dolls, and he said, "Ah, yeah, they got no souls. They'll be back though.
And to Dr. Dermot.
They'll be back, as in the people that lost their souls will be back." And
They
we were
kind of
asking,
like advertise the carnival the next time it comes around.
Is
Yeah.
this in any way related to the fucking zoo we found way back when?
I don't.
Not that
so-
Not that we're
of.
aware of.
Go, Grace.
It's just this is just some weird carnival run by some weird, very
I'm dumb.
obviously looking evil man.
I'm dumb. Halloween one shot. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's not Halloween.
We're pre-gaming.
We're pre-gaming Halloween.
We're getting ready for
On
Halloween.
September 4th.
It's already Halloween. As soon as it hits September, it's David S. Pumpkin's time.
Maybe that's pumpkin. Anyway, we were in the middle of talking and asking the demented Dr. Dermot, what exactly that means and why this man is doing this and what can we do to prevent that. And so far he said, I don't know, boss doesn't like it when people ask him things like that. He's also been very controlling over these people in terms of, like, they're presenting money to him and he's saying it's not enough. It's not enough. They're being forced to work essentially.
Yeah, and he did mention to me, it's like they're kind of contracted and stuck in a contract type deal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Neat.
I mean, that's not neat, Connor. It's just horrible for these people.
So I was saying, let's go figure out and we need to at least try to figure it out. And then it was kind of a conversation. Should we go and figure it out? And I was like, yes, obviously we should. So here we are. And now you're here. Oh, paladin of, what are you a paladin of again?
The Green Lady.
Paladin.
These days.
No, not the Green Lady. Paladin of sucking goat cock. That's right.
Then-
Now that you're here, we get to the bottom of this mystery.
It's true. They were just
True.
we were finding out if they're doing a fight or if they're resolving this and then we're playing Pathfinder.
We could resolve this without a fight, potentially.
It's probably gonna be a fight.
Well,
It's
learn
probably
about the
gonna
payment stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
probably trying to pay a contract off.
And we could ask him that if he's
Yeah.
under a contract.
Can you tell us more about it?
I'm gonna cast Divine Sense. Oof, man, this music. Never mind. That shit is going lower volume.
That's what everyone said so
Holy
far.
fucking shit.
You gotta.
That whine in the background is horrendous.
It's gotta go turn around because it doesn't have like a global control. It's like by user, so it just plays the music and you have to turn it down. Because I don't have like a global control over it. Or I guess I kind of do. Oh yeah, turn that down. Okay. But yeah. So, would you be shocked to know that indeed, not exactly on the up and up, your divine sense does, give you some real fiend vibes.
Ye olde gasp.
However, it doesn't give you it doesn't point one out. It's almost like you are surrounded by fiendish energy.
I mean, those dolls are definitely fiends.
Wait, surrounded? Do you mean
surrounded?
like several people are giving it
No,
off?
like
the whole area,
the entire carnival is.
Okay. Okay, hold on.
That's what I meant by the entire place is kind of bad juju, and I don't know if we'll actually.
My
Fix
bad,
anything.
real quick. I was only half awake when Colin was explaining that. How did we get here in the first place? I don't think I.
Connor, we arrived last week.
We took a
Sorta just
taking a
ended
break
up here.
from being on the ship for a long
Okay.
time.
I don't remember the carnival being mentioned.
It's a traveling carnival.
Bro,
It was
what
literally
really
just right at the
kinda
end. He was
came out
like,
and
hey,
left.
I also
after
feel like I
flying
left
for a
early
couple
last
weeks.
They broke open a chicken egg and there was a damn carnival invitation in it.
I feel like that should have. Okay. All right.
Are
Okay.
you telling me your chickens don't lay flyers?
Well, I mean, chickens don't fly.
Is that true?
No, they
Somewhat.
fall with style.
They can get a little bit of upward momentum, but yeah, they can't like fly like most birds.
Well, Lou, so can you, but I don't think it's anything to write home about.
No, when Luke gets upward momentum, he falls back at him and he falls on his ass.
It's the best. Oh my god. Easily the best in Lou's greatest hits. High kicks, realizes he's in socks. Oh, fuck. Okay. Sorry, that was good.
Anyway, about these soul-stealing dolls and whatever deal you have with the owner. What's going on there?
What? He sort of looks at you like, what do you mean? What's going on? I mean, you just said it.
I mean that. Yeah, I feel like that was it. Is
What
it a
sort of
deal
deal
you
do
can
you have
pay
with
off?
Oh god, no. Oh god, no. I wish. As part of the agreement, we get to see the world. He gets to have control over us. We didn't exactly expect our souls to be signed away, but no.
Like how long is it for?
Who's he? Do we know who he is?
In perpetuity of the carnival.
Yeah,
So
he's
as
the
long as he
ringmaster.
feels like it, basically.
Pretty much.
That's unfortunate.
He like passes the flask over to you.
It's alright, man. You need it more than I do.
He takes it and drinks.
How did you get involved then?
Oh, okay. So I was convinced that I was gonna be the greatest scientist that the world had ever seen. Cure anything, do anything. Wonderful joining of magic and technology. But I got it convinced in my head that, my shitty little village, not the place that was gonna happen. You know, I always had a gift for the mechanical, but I also grew up in bumfuck nowhere. And then the carnival came around, I was like, that's a good way to get out. I can see the world, go learn a thing or two, maybe travel for a little while. So I signed on. That's 30 years ago.
How old's this guy look?
He's probably 40s.
Okay.
Got a
Is
great
there any other
drinking
way to break
habit
your
out of
contract?
it. He sort of thinks, I mean, the only way is to convince, the carnival to release you.
Well,
I mean,
He
I'm
wants to
not.
challenge the owner to
He says, I'm
a
not
game.
a fool. I fucking signed up for it. It's my own fault, to an extent, but shit. I didn't ask for this, as he holds up his shirt and shows the thing growing on him.
I really wish you would stop doing that.
What, you want to kiss it?
No!
Yeah. Nobody else does either.
I can only wonder why.
Oh my god.
But he kind of shrugs. It is what it is.
You need fucking Melora.
Why does he need Laura?
He sort of.
Melora.
Mayora?
Everybody needs Melora.
Is she hot?
Yeah. I guess.
Nice.
Rockers over there like,
It's just a slightly taller Ashley Johnson.
do you know what the master is?
He's a Time Lord.
He
I'm waiting
sort
for
of
that.
says, He's a smart guy. All right.
Oh
He
no,
says,
we've never fought against a smart guy before. It's our greatest foe.
It's not that, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I've been here for a while, and I sort of keep an eye on things. I think, at the end of the day, all that the Master is a manifestation of the Carnival. Like, this Carnival, it's not a fucking guy that runs it, it's the Carnival.
That's deep, man.
It's worse.
So-
I go home.
Is it a? So it's a.
Call
lot.
me when you add cars.
As far as I can tell, the Carnival can, you know, the Carnival makes the decisions. I mean, we pack it up and we move it, but I almost feel like that's a matter of convenience. If we weren't around, it would find another way to do it or suck someone else in.
What's the ringmaster's name?
He's just the ringmaster. That's all he's been
No name.
called.
Is he like? Does he appear as human?
No.
Oh, go ahead, Colin. Put up the token for him again.
I don't want to put up the token because Connor's a butt.
His token's right here. It's this guy.
Oh,
That's just MF Doom in a top hat.
That's not nice. He's dead.
So this guy.
Yeah, that's just MF Doom cosplaying as Slash.
It's not fair. That's not funny. He's dead.
Slash isn't dead.
No, MF Doom is.
We don't know that.
We do. On account of the death.
Why is MF Doom the only one that we're not allowed to make fun of, even though he's dead?
Wait, what? Yeah.
Of
We
all
haven't made.
people-
We haven't
Oh,
made fun of other.
all
Who
right,
have we made fun of this game that is dead, other than MF Doom?
Connor.
A lot of people.
Connor's
every
dead.
day.
That's fair.
All right, but what do you want to do?
Tommy's fucking dead.
That's yeah. See, I don't make fun of Tommy.
I do.
He just
That's fair.
bled his brains out all over the bathroom.
What?
I'm gonna text this motherfucker.
apparently Tommy went into the bathroom and suddenly his nose just started bleeding.
Yeah,
I
his
think he's
internet.
lying.
His internet turned off, and then his nose started to bleed. You know, it's
Yeah.
probably the government.
He got
Probably.
paid.
It's
He's
five.
full of
It's
shit.
5G.
It's probably
Shelby's-
5G.
Shelby was feeling generous today. That's all.
But
Yeah.
no, it's
5G,
Then-
5K.
it's
gets you.
what would you like to do? Like I said, Demented Dr. Dermot,
trying to-
he's throwing it straight with you, but he doesn't really have any power. He's not really in charge.
Can he just like take the things off of himself and throw them at the bad guy?
I mean, they did move. They were clearly alive.
I mean, that would freak me the fuck out if someone threw like a, I don't know, a living tumor at me.
Contract or not, taking other people's souls is not anything that other people should be doing.
Can I like
You hear
Tossed up.
you hear a voice from behind you that says, "The carnival is closed, good sirs, my little chickadees."
Oh no, now he asked.
Oh no, it's Papa Mwaji.
It's
He's dead. You can't make fun of
that's
him.
Baba Uwaji.
Is Babu Mwaji, my bad.
Yeah, and you're being racist.
Is Babu Mwaji dead?
In our hearts, yes.
And you can see
how to spell
the
that.
ringmaster is standing there behind you.
Sup, dog?
The
Did
carnival.
Carnival ever really close?
He smiles and says, "Yes, it does."
You should look
Oh,
into a
okay.
24/7 option.
Have a good day then, sir.
You might make more money.
Of course,
I
I
feel
hope.
like you should not encourage him to make the people's lives here worse, Connor.
I
Do
hope.
we know that their lives are miserable?
Yes.
Yes, they sort of.
Everyone wants to die but can't. Basically.
Okay, so we just kill everybody. Easy.
Does
That's like
does Ito fall for that one?
Does Ito fall for what?
I hope that you
If we just
enjoyed
murder all of
the
us.
show, and I would once again like to thank you for all the gold that you spent. It was a very large turnout indeed.
Alright, I was gonna ask about that. What was the turnout? Are we the only guests?
You're the
There's
only
about
ones
200
left now.
people.
Like 200 people.
Because the show's over, everyone's left and went home.
Wow.
That's why he's like, We're closed.
During the show, did he like advertise like a new act or anything?
The main act was a
No, not a main act, a new act.
no.
Somebody new.
No.
Okay.
Nope. Let's say I'm very interested in your show, and I would like to know more.
You know,
I've already been willing to show that I have deep pockets, just to see. What else can you tell me about it?
It's got a deep cloaca too, if that interests
rich,
you.
rich lizard folk. He makes them.
We are but a traveling circus moving from town to town and place to place, bringing joy and enrichment to the people of these communities around where we go.
Where's
The
Where's the Ravine? What's his vibe on this?
not here.
Oh, wait, Klaus stayed on the ship.
Not here.
Yeah,
He was not here today.
he was
Connor.
not here today.
And the dolls during the show while the people were watching the main act.
My little helpers, of course.
What exactly are they helping you with?
Oh, this and that.
All right, Captain Vague.
All right, I need to take a second. I need to take Ziggy out, and I need to piss.
Let's
No,
put
we
Ziggy
don't-
outside.
We don't piss here anymore.
Yeah, I piss outside.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Have a good day.
Perhaps if you're so interested in the carnival you would like to join. You'll see much, live long.
I've already seen much and I'm destined to live longer if death doesn't take me earlier.
Live long and prosper, and Reed holds up his hand.
Then you are much luckier than many people of this world.
I see. Everyone here that is employed by you seems downtrodden and broken. Beaten and the damned.
He sort of says, they have a home, they get to see the world.
And why is it that the coin that they bring you is not enough?
He sort of...
Who was it that was he was talking with? Was it these two?
Yep.
Why is it that the ones who bring you coin, you tell them it is not enough? What is it? How much do they owe? Why?
Sort of says... I don't... Or he says, that is carnival business. We have our own laws and rules, and we only discuss business with one another.
I would like to cast Detect Thoughts.
Alright. Detect thoughts.
It's got a verbal, somatic, and material component, so I'm not being subtle about this.
Alright. You
Do you not have a casting focus?
detect thoughts.
You still have to do you
It's
still
a
have to do
loop.
verbal and somatics.
Oh, do you? I thought
Yeah,
I covered the
The
somatic.
focus only covers the material
Material.
cost that doesn't
Okay.
cost money. Yeah.
You just base. He doesn't even stop you. He is coldly, deadly calm.
Yeah, but what's he thinking about?
If you want to go deeper, you can try.
I would like to go deeper.
All right. He.
It's technically a wisdom saving throw unless he's like failing it on purpose.
He is going to.
So, what the fuck is my PC? 18.
He passes. But I want you to make a let's see, a wisdom save. As
Great. Connor
he,
stared in the abyss, and the abyss stared back.
Wouldn't be the first time.
he casts. You do pass it, but you can see you do pass, so you aren't affected. But he casts command, says stop. That is unwise.
Sorry, it's a reflex when I detect bullshit.
You may say that it is carnival business, what you have here, but taking other people's souls does not go by any law. And any good person would try to stop that from happening.
Well then,
Don't put us on that kind of fucking pedestal, Cody. We're not good people.
Well, we're mostly good people for the most part.
I'm a good person.
he's
Him, look at him. He's mostly a good
He
person.
can't be a good person. He's a Marine.
I'm not a Marine.
Look at the jarhead.
he sort of smiles and says,
People.
And your plan is to what? Kill me? Do you think that that is going to change anything? That it will matter if I'm dead? There will be another. And if you kill him, there will be another. The carnival will always have a ringmaster.
So there'll be another, but it's not going to be you?
He sort of shrugs and says, no.
So you're in the same position as them then, aren't you?
We all serve our place and our purpose.
Then we will find your master and stop it there. And your master's master if we
Well,
must.
The other guy was talking like the carnival was a living thing. An entity or a being itself.
You are very, very investigative.
Curious would be the better term.
I like that. It shows... Well, you're far more interesting than the average person that walks through here.
I'm far smarter than the average bear, too.
No, I've met some smart bears.
Why don't we make a deal? Not for your soul or anything like that. Not to have you work at the carnival. I will take the halflings deal and accept their money. And you will leave us to do our business.
The
So we can
halflings
give
deal.
the 3 halflings.
I will accept the deal that they offered.
I don't think you understand here. We don't do things like this by pitiful half measures.
He's not wrong.
I'm going to.
What's Dr. Dermot doing? Like, what is his?
He just leans up against the cart and continues drinking from the flask.
Is there anyone else that started to gather? Like, I imagine this is quite a scene here.
You can
with
see
all the other people gone.
Mistress Mirabella sort of watches onwards. You can see the strong man looks on. The grinning grinder is off in the distance playing with his dolls.
Is there a.
Rormik, Sibyl, and Darcy are off in the distance, sort of watching from a tent.
Is there a cleaner carriage, like a nicer carriage than the others? Like his, basically? Boss's office.
Sure.
Is he beside it?
No.
Or are we in the center?
It's close to the petting zoo.
Cool, I'm gonna... Jesus Christ, dogs. I will walk up to Reed, I will tell him it's not worth it, and I'll look at him and I'll apologize for the spell, and then I'm gonna slink off towards that, but I don't want to seem like I'm going towards that.
Okay.
So I can roll stealth if you like.
Yeah.
Okay. 20.
All right, so you sneak away. It's near the petting zoo. You can hear the animals sort of whinny and bray a little bit, but you're able to sort of bypass them. There's a slight. It's a pretty nice cart over there.
So is this one over here?
Yeah.
Okay. Does he have like a door? Is it like a little?
There's a
tiny-
door on the back. Yeah.
Okay. Can I tell if it's locked?
You go to it and the door turns. Knob opens. It's not locked.
want to cast my Unseen Servant, and I want to have it pull the door open while I ready an action in case something comes out to attack me.
Okay.
Kind of like a two-man team kind of deal.
Open, flash, and clear.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. If you open the door, nothing pops out. Inside is some chests, really nice clothes hanging up.
I'm gonna go ahead.
It looks like a cart.
Okay, I'm gonna tell the Unseen Servant to like lay down in front of the doorway as a tripping hazard, and I'm gonna actually go into the cart.
Okay. There is a like I said, sort of wardrobe, lots of very nice clothes. He's got like what appears to be, much to your chagrin, they actually look like living heads, but they're like cut off, like, so it's like a bust that has various top hats sitting on it, and a couple of them have different masks on them. They sort of move slightly and writhe a little bit, but they can't make words. You can see that there is, you know, what appears to be pieces, like sheets of paper, receipts, income, tallies of people coming through, travel routes. You can see as you look through them, these range back several hundred years.
Good to know. You said there were heads?
Yes.
Did I hear that?
Yep. They're like busts that have hats on them. They're like how you know how people have wigs on their hats. They're just living heads that have like hats and masks on them.
Okay, so they're busts, but they're alive.
They are alive, yes.
Rad. Do they look significant in any way? Like,
No,
I don't know.
not really. It's just like I said. It's like a bust used to hold someone's wig or someone's hats. Basically, it's like a coat holder.
Cool. You said there's a pile of like documents and stuff. Is there like I'm looking for like a drawer or something dusty that doesn't get opened.
Roll a perception check.
10.
You don't see any. Like I said, everything looks pretty actually immaculate in the entire room.
Okay. If anybody else has so many ideas, I have to think. Ooh.
I just
Go ahead.
because obviously we've got the deal to save just the 3 halflings, but that still leaves, you know, all the other the dwarf lady, the doctor.
What happened with the deal?
Basically,
So
he said
to-
he'll take he'll take the deal that Rormac and Sibyl were offering when they were trying to offer him gold. And in return, you can leave, walk out of here, because
he basically just wants us to stop investing.
he's like, just get out of here. He's also, you know,
But that also just leaves all the other people stuck here, obviously.
that is.
So-
Although all the other people, he didn't force them to be here. They all signed up.
So, I have a proposal as long as the people that are going to be here are okay with it. So, we have them take the deal, and then when the war is over, I will find and free the rest of them.
Do you say that to him?
No, no, no. I I kind of go aside and tell the group that.
I mean, are you going to do that by force? Because if you're going to do it by force, you might as well do it by force right now.
I mean,
Well,
not
who knows what'll
necessarily.
change by the time that it's over. So who knows? Maybe in that time he decides to just let everybody go. Well,
I don't think he can.
again, it doesn't
If
seem
he's
to be. It
if
doesn't
it's
seem
not
to be him,
him,
he seems to actually be sort of trapped by the carnival too.
well, that's what I was saying. If it's not him, it's the carnival itself, then you can't let them go. I mean, I'm assuming.
Colin, is
But
my
it's like-
divine... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Rick.
No, that's all I was asking. If Alec was gonna do it by force, you might as well just do it by force since we're here. Because you also don't know where the carnival will be after the war is finished.
I mostly meant so we don't get in a fight right this minute. But
Is my divine sense still active?
It only lasts for like a minute, I think.
Okay. If I could use it again to see if there's anything in this carriage that's vibing.
No, it's the whole
Same thing.
carnival.
I want to talk to the heads.
Like I said, they don't talk. They can't talk. They're just props, basically. They're just.
Oh, I see. I apologize. I
Yeah.
misunderstood what you meant by living.
They move. They look like they were at one. They are like undead, basically heads. They move. They look
Can
like things,
I-
but they're
Can I speak with dead them?
sure.
Okay. I will cast Speak with Dead.
Okay. You pick a target. The one that they look like they're various different ages. Do you pick the oldest or the youngest?
There's 3, right?
Yep.
Can I? Is there one that appears middle? Like middle?
Yeah,
ground?
yeah. There's one older, one younger, one probably around the middle.
Yeah, I'll pick that one.
Alright. It sort of slowly turns and focuses on you as you cast Speak with Dead.
Hello. Sorry for bothering you. It's how many questions? 3? 5. 5 questions. We're investigating the carnival. How long would you say you've been here in terms of since its beginning?
He sort of, you can see hundreds.
Has it been the same ringmaster the whole time?
No.
Okay. Has anyone tried to stop it? Sorry. Has anyone come close to stopping it?
No.
Can an outsider do so?
It sort of says, slow it down, but not stop it.
So, from this, I've gathered we should probably take the deal presented and
Got one
try
more.
and
Got
leave.
one more question.
Sorry, I'm thinking. How would you start if stopping it was your goal, or slowing it down, as you said? Where would you begin?
He says, same way we all try to do it, with fire.
I will thank him as the spell wears off. And then I will leave the place as I found it. As I'm leaving, any other than the busts, and you mentioned a ledger and maps and stuff, any trinkets or heirlooms?
None that you saw with that perception check.
Perception. Okay, no worries. All right, I'll bounce out. I will tell my unseen servant to stand up, and I'll just gently close the door.
Okay. Dan will sort of whinny a little bit, and as you walk by, but leave the cart.
Cool. Thank you.
The ringmaster calls over Rormac and Sibyl as he says, "The two of you have some very, very interested benefactors." As he smiles and says, "They have, through their kindness and their good nature, convinced me to agree to the deal that you are talking about. After all, you are correct. There is no contract for her."
I sort of saw this coming. It's only to get their daughter out.
I mean,
Wait, there's no contract for her, but
she's probably always been able to leave, but that just means that she would be kind of abandoned by
Was she
proxy.
born here?
Uh,
How long have you two been stuck here?
they sort of look at each other and say, they're both, like I said, they're pretty young to young middle age by halfling standards. So they've, and they say, we've been here since we were, I don't know, not much older than Darcy. So they've been here for maybe 30 years.
Yeah, because she said she's a little younger than me, so she'd be like 22, 23.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Somewhere between 17, 18, 19, 20. Somewhere between there.
Oh, okay. So a little bit younger than that, alright. Still.
They sort
So
of
just to get her out? So... Okay. So I'm just gonna point at the ringmaster, then you have no way of letting go those that actually have contracts.
he sort of says, my hands, they are tied. The contract is the contract. The girl, however, does not have a contract. She was merely born to these two workers.
What I'll reapproach. Where are we? Are we like in the big top?
I mean, you're outside it right now, probably.
So what happens if we just light this place on fire?
He sort of says the same thing that the last people that did. It may very well burn down. But you can't kill the carnival.
But then what happens to all the contracts?
He sort of says, "Oh, no, I don't think you understand. The carnival that burns down isn't just the buildings.
All the people too?
They are part of the carnival. Until the carnival is willing to give them up."
Or until they're dead?
I said they'd live forever.
No, they don't live forever.
Just a very, very long time.
They don't even live for longer than usual, but they are constantly have new people coming in.
So, but the people that are here, they're here until they are dead, correct?
That is correct.
Well,
That
well.
includes myself.
How many people are here?
In
How many
fact,
actually,
I don't even get the peace of rest after I die.
Let's see.
I join the wall.
I don't like that.
Let's see that Croc.
All the heads that are posed in his
Yeah, no,
carriage are
I-
previous ringmasters.
So-
how many people are in
Well,
the
there-
carnival's employ?
There's only a handful of people. It's not like a massive. It doesn't have employ hundreds of people. You're looking at maybe a dozen to score.
Does he
So-
use literally death? Because like I can cast Revivify.
I mean, you can, but you're not gonna get rid of the carnival either way.
No,
I thought he meant literal death.
No, well, no. The issue is that the carnival is a constant. Is what he is trying to imply. So
Yeah, no, I
even if we free these people, it's going to happen again.
And right now we don't know anything about it. So, unfortunately, yes, at this point it seems that our best outcome is to, well, get Darcy out of here. And then it would have to be, look up some way in the future to be able to put an actual end to this carnival.
Nothing short of the gods' work will be able to get rid of this, because it was the gods' work that created it.
Which god created it?
He sort of smiles and holds his hand up. That is a secret.
What?
You said he holds his hand up and what?
Holds his finger up to his lip and says, "That is a secret, known only by the ringmasters."
Connor goes and casts Speak with Dead again on the other heads.
And he sort of smiles at you and says, "Would you like to be next in line?"
I've already got like a few gigs lined up in my what seems to be eternal life. So maybe somewhere down the line, but I'm not going to agree to a deal.
Pencil
If
you
that's
in.
what you're implying.
A shame.
Look, man, you got a lot of competition.
He says, "You can have this fancy hat."
I don't need a hat. I have antenna.
Cody's back.
Why can't you have both antenna and a hat?
No,
I mean,
Cody,
that doesn't make
so,
sense to me.
It's a-
yeah,
gets in the
basically,
way.
the
What's going
carnival
on?
is literally basically an entity itself. We can't put an end to the carnival.
Why can't
The
you?
only way that the previous ringmasters did it, because they're also bound to this place, is by literally burning it down. But that
Okay.
also means burning everyone in the carnival down.
So
Everyone, as in
we
the
literally
workers?
murder. We
Yes,
murder
the
the
workers
people that
as
are
well.
stuck here. Yeah.
The carnival isn't
The
just the
deal
tents.
the
It's-
deal is giving us right now is basically we can take Darcy away because she doesn't actually have a contract.
The
halfling girl
carnival
gave me
is like
the-
a universal constant that was created by the gods, is what he is implying, and that the only way it will go away is if we deal with the god that made it, but he won't tell us which god made it.
Okay, and the souls that they're taking.
I imagine they're going to the fucking god that made it.
I'm assuming we're dealing with Asmodeus again.
I asked about that, and I there's something about how like their souls and like something with the flyers and stuff. I just wanted to make sure I had that right.
Anyway, I think we
Did-
should.
Did you
get
say that?
Darcy out of here.
Did you say that we were like? Is that just like the only plan? The deal is just to get this one?
Yeah, unfortunately, she's the only one because she's the only one that doesn't have a contract.
Okay,
So
She was
I'm
like,
gonna,
everyone-
then I'm gonna ask him directly. Then, what is it that you need these souls for? Why are you taking people's souls?
He's not.
It's not him. It's the
He is,
god. And
he is
in the
part of the
same
people
boat.
that are stuck.
Okay, so why are they taking the souls then?
What's the bet?
Say, he says, we have our quotas.
It's a god, so you know.
God shit.
I mean,
Gods.
Yeah, basically.
probably, yeah.
He
I
sort
do
of
that.
smiles and says, this carnival
Wait, I'm dumb.
has existed in
We know.
some way, shape, or form since the primordial ones walked the earth.
I'm gonna make a phone call real quick, and I'm going to.
calling up the god hotline.
Yeah, I'm calling up
Janice
the God
speaking.
hotline. I'd like to beseech the Green Lady and ask her if her
Oh, that's mine.
friend is a fan of carnivals.
You can roll a.
Colin had to say the word deal 20 times before I thought.
Well,
You know, I made
Yeah.
that joke when we first walked in here, and now I wish I hadn't.
Yeah,
What joke?
That's
He
the
said-
Baba Yaga Carnival.
Baba Yaga.
oh, it's
Bobby.
it's not Baba Yaga.
no,
Oh,
Colin, you can.
It's not.
I'm still.
Baba Yaga's not a fiend. She's a fae. There's nothing.
These are
themed about
clearly
it.
devils.
Maybe she's, horizontally integrating. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm still feeling Asmodeus.
There's a lot of evil gods, and
Anyway, I am still gonna call out to the Green Lady and be like, hey,
roll
you know
a D100.
Oh boy, I love that.
This is Janice seeing if she can patch you
67.
through.
Almost.
Unfortunately, that was a divine intervention roll. You have to roll lower than your level or lower for a divine intervention roll.
Ooh.
Your
Colin,
yeah. Well,
Um,
technically it's your cleric level or lower, so or paladin level or lower.
I can speak directly with the Green Lady, with the Mantis Queen, with my sword, correct?
Yeah, you can convene with her.
I'm gonna try and ask.
Okay.
I'm gonna go into the blood tent if I'm allowed to, and I will do it there.
Sure. You actually are in there. You can see the very lovely Mistress Mirabella, the old man. He's wiping the makeup off his face, but he sort of says, raises an eyebrow and says, "Could I help you?"
I need to borrow the space for a second. You can watch, but I got
A call.
a call to make.
Kinky.
He sort of says,
How's the
he sort
signal
of,
here?
He kind of shakes his head and says, "Weirder things have happened in this tent, trust me."
That's disturbing.
Well, I mean, whatever.
Probably true.
Yeah.
Alright, you convene. And whenever you convene with the Mantis Queen, it's always pretty cryptic because she doesn't really speak. She shows you, like, pictures of a loom, like, that she's carved into the weave of fate, like, loom, using her loom, basically. So it's like you're looking at a tapestry when you look at it. But you do cast, what is it, the divination part of it?
Yeah.
And so, You can ask a specific question about something.
I want to know what god is the carnival, or which god is under, or Jesus Christ, which god is the?
I don't know all of them.
Who god this is?
Fuck you. Which god controls the carnival? Like, whose purview is it under?
You can see there's, as you sort of convene, you have to, like, close your eyes, and you just, kind of have to focus, and you can see there is what appears to be
Ravens?
well, no.
The Raven Queen is not malicious like that.
There is
The Raven Queen doesn't actually want people to die. She wants
triangle.
death.
There's like a sort of like a strange, sort of triangle that is slowly carved into the weave, and then you can see there's a what appears to be a sort of a bleached white skull in the middle of it.
Bleached white skull in the middle of a triangle.
Yep.
Oh my god, it's corn.
Metal. It's okay.
You can roll a religion check, but it is a hard religion check for this one. That's because it's not Vecna.
See, he left the group, yeah.
I mean, you could have followed, but I said I need to go. I need to go commune.
He went into like the.
He went into
fortune
he went into the fortune teller tent.
Give him guidance.
A bleached white skull in the middle of a triangle.
That does sound at least vaguely familiar.
Is anybody giving me the help action?
Wait, did you announce that you were going to go talk to the Mantis Queen?
Yes.
I mean, I would have joined you. I'm sorry. I missed
Well,
that.
I'm giving guidance. Who wants to help?
Well, no, but I went on the fucking magical psycho LSD quest with Alakul back in the day. So
I mean, I'm not like going like that.
Oh.
He's just giving me a vision.
Got it. Okay, never mind. I thought you were doing the dream dance thing.
Oh. Am I getting advantage, or is no one helping me?
The lizard man said he would help you.
No, I said I'm doing guidance.
Isn't
he's
that
doing
advantage?
guidance.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's a D4.
Oh, I'm dumb. I don't know if my presence would be...
Hey, Ida, how about you give him the help action?
people. I'm asking the religious people for help identifying the god. Is why I'm particularly
okay.
interested in yours.
Sure, I will provide the help action.
Well, shit,
God damn it.
add a D4 to that.
I mean, if it's a very hard, an 18 ain't gonna do it.
It's not one you're familiar with, unfortunately, but it's gotta be either very obscure or very old.
Very obscure, very what?
Old.
Okay. Well, luckily I know some people that are very old.
Which, in a way, does make sense, because he said this was created when the Primordial ones walked the world. That is, like Hasfadel the Scourge. That's his time, and Gabaz al-Gaib walked that world. The Primordials walked it, so...
Alright, then I suppose if everyone is okay with it, we'll just take Darcy away from here.
Yeah.
I mean, does she have somewhere to go?
She can just
Not
come with us and be on
really.
the ship. We can take her to Parzula or wherever, but she
Yeah, I
doesn't need to
figured
be here.
Yeah, I figured we could.
Literally
least give us
abandoning
one
her
more,
ass in the
but-
desert is a better place than right here.
I get that she's young, right?
She's
like
she's not
18.
She's 18, 19.
Yeah, but do we know how long she's been here?
She was born here.
Oh Christ!
They
That's
age
why she
normally
doesn't
from what
have
it
a.
seems.
That's why she doesn't have a contract.
No,
They-
Rick was.
They
picking
haven't
up
lost
on
their sense of time. They still know time passes and they still age. So she's however old she says she is.
Mm,
Hanley doesn't know that. I know that.
And
Hanley's
what
just sitting there
the
like,
fuck is a time?
yeah,
Ooh,
Henley's just
Trey.
sitting there like, man, this is some weird shit.
Guys, why haven't you gotten your DD214s yet?
But anyway, so
Have you considered not re-enlisting?
but yeah, I recommend we get out of here while
we'll take her away, and I suppose we could, in the meantime, if we happen to catch a line on whose carnival this is and what we can do to stop it,
No, yeah,
we
of
can handle
course.
it then.
I made I made a mental note but we need to get out of this place for right now. And
And Rita is
her
going
out.
to bow to them and apologize that
The
we
two
must leave them here.
sort of, you can see Sybil sort of shakes her head and she says, "Oh, no, just that she's getting out of here is what's important. We didn't." See, they sort of look sadly at each other and says, "We never wanted a child to be brought into this carnival, but we couldn't hide this one away, I'm afraid."
We couldn't find any condoms.
I mean, don't you guys have goats over there?
They start fucking the goats. Yeah, this is how it's done. But
I remember
fuck
a
the
story
goats and
about
stare at
making
each other.
condoms out of like goat intestines or something.
unfortunately,
They work very poorly.
she says, the ringmaster found this one and he wouldn't let her go. So the fact that we can get her out of here is what matters. And you can see the three have, as it sort of slowly sinks into the fact that Darcy's being told to go, does not want to, as she says, "I'm not leaving you here."
Kind of figured this was gonna come to.
Darcy,
She sort of looks at you. I can't just leave them here. They're my parents.
I'm gonna be pretty frank with you. I left my home when I was quite young, and I've seen a lot. Like, holy cow, I have seen a lot. But your parents will be at the carnival, and I promise we will come back. And if you need to, you can stay with me on the ship, and we will come back and as soon as we know how we can get them out. Okay?
She looks sadly, and the two halflings say, "You've got to." And
If you don't leave, you're all going to be stuck here. And at some point, that would probably drive your parents completely mad.
Darcy, your parents want you to go, but here's the thing: if you're gone, you can help us understand more about this carnival, and then someday they too can be freed. You could be the one to save them, as they want to save you now.
She looks at you, and at the pleading of her parents, she sort of looks at the ringmaster and says, "I'm coming back for my parents." "Good. We always welcome return customers." And as the Rormac hands him the pouch filled with gold pieces, the ringmaster takes it, and he tosses it to Darcy and says, "Money is not useful at the carnival. Go spend it on your new life."
It is unsure whether to glare or smile at the ringmaster right now.
Let's just leave. And I've got just the person for you to meet, because holy shit, if anybody can cheer you up, it's going to be the captain of the ship.
Alright. The deal has been struck. You've freed young Darcy. The carnival still remains, but it is something that is old, ancient, sentient, evil, perhaps.
Has a mechanical cat.
Willing to bet?
There's definitely something evil about it. But the ringmaster doesn't stop you. The deal has been made. He wishes Darcy, says, I wish you good fortunes on your travels, and I hope to see you here again. But he isn't upset, not put out. It is what it is. He's fine to see her go. And you can see as you walk through the garish gates of the carnival, you can see several of the carionets gathered around the ringmaster with the grinning grinder there. His wide eyes, his massive grin, looking sort of deadly at, sort of almost dead-eyed at you as he waves. Yeah, the grinning grinder is a
Fucking weirdo.
yeah.
What's
I mean,
with the
look at
smiling
that, look
guys
at that fucking
recently?
face.
I don't want to look at it. What's with the weird smiling people?
The strong arm, the Goliath, helps open the gate for you, and he says, "Oh yeah, I was just hanging out with this moon elf by the front gate. It's pretty cool." As you turn and you leave the carnival behind, but you will see it once again whenever you learn more about it. But that won't be today. That will be next time in the future of Dungeons, Dragons, and or Dungeons and Dragons.